Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Day 3 of the new Blitz.
Good afternoon, Jason. What's happening?
Welcome to the Eisenhower Road Studios.
Wow.
Little different than the kitchen.
Yeah, it is a little different than the kitchen. And, it sounds much better, too. It's good. It's nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He sounds taller.
It's hard for Joe to be taller. I always tell people on 94.5 FM, I sound much taller.
Really?
I do. I just sound tall. When people meet you, everybody said, man, I thought you'd be taller. And I'm 5'7", right? I mean, or when somebody sees photos of you with, I don't know, a Spurs player and you look short, but hell, you look short around Spurs players.
Everybody looks short around a Spurs player, but so that leads me to, and I'm looking across the desk here from you. Are you sitting on a phone book or what are you doing?
Well, we're not supposed to let all the secrets, but you know how in the TV studio you've got some anchors that stand on a box?
Some do.
Yeah.
Yes,
no,
they do.
It's just the chair that's here.
Okay.
It's. I mean, yours is probably a little bit lower. I mean, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, this is as low as the chair will go. I did not raise it, but it can go much higher. It is on the lowest setting.
So you went from 5'7" to 6'3", just like
tall.
that.
I don't stand tall. There's a difference.
All right.
Lots to get into today.
Oh, man.
On the Blitz. And I think we need to start with some breaking news.
Yeah.
Can we start with some breaking news?
This is breaking news from San Antonio Sports Star.
Press release. Joe Reinagel retiring from Ken's TV.
Wait a minute. I thought we were talking about AT&T Stadium. No?
Oh, that's the next breaking news.
That's the next
I'm going
breaking
with the biggest piece of news out there.
Yeah, the announcement came out today. I am going to retire from the TV business. And, man, it's been a great run, 25 years. But, I'm officially going to retire from TV broadcasting.
So the end of February. So for now, you're doing radio from 4 to 7, then you're going in and doing the 10 o'clock news there on Ken's 5.
Still doing the 10 o'clock through February, and they're going to look for somebody to come in and sit in the seat there, and then I'm going to sit in the seat here and continue to bother you for as long as they'll let me.
So 2 days of having 2 jobs, you're like, oh, screw this, man. I got to retire from one.
That was it. It was like, that's enough.
After
right?
2 days of double duty, it was kind of like what Becky Hammond is doing, right? Why does Becky Hammond have 2 jobs right now?
Well, she shouldn't have 2 jobs because she ought to just quit the Spurs and go work for the WNBA. The Aces. As
head coach and general manager.
Right.
And to do both.
Yeah.
If the Spurs somehow make the playoffs, I don't know what
she's
she
probably
does.
Gambling that they won't. And that might be a pretty good bet. So,
but even then, I mean, there's like a month between the end of the Spurs season and the start of the WNBA season.
Yeah, but Becky, on off days, she's going to be on the phone, on Zoom calls. She's going to be doing all this stuff. So she's going to get it done. One thing about I love Becky Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not love Becky Hammond? One thing about Becky is she's motivated. She's determined. She's a hard worker. She's going to get it done. So I've got no illusions that they won't be ready to play in May.
And she'll surround herself with a good staff.
No question.
That will take care of some of the day-to-day stuff, and she'll be able to handle both. But after what we saw last night from the Spurs, there's plenty of work to do there too.
There's a lot of work to do there. They get DeJounte Murray back. That's the good news for tonight. So that's got to help. I mean, he's the best player in the team right now.
Yes.
By far. Which
is a bit of a surprise because I thought it was going to be Keldon Johnson.
So did Pop, apparently.
We'll get into that and the Spurs here throughout the show. Lots to talk about today, but there is another piece of breaking news.
This is breaking news from San Antonio Sports Star.
With COVID and everything going on, the Omicron variant, the NFL apparently has told Jerry to keep his stadium ready to go in February in case they need to move the Super Bowl from Los Angeles. They could play the Super Bowl at Jerry World in Arlington.
And I think the NFL is betting that the Cowboys won't be in that game, so it's a safe bet that they that the stadium will be open and ready to go, so it should be fine.
It's completely no. I think Roger Goodell says, you know what, all this bitching about the officials, we're going to do you a favor, and if your team can play well without penalties, you will have a chance to be the first team to play in a Super Bowl in your home stadium, and that's why they're doing it.
That's it, huh?
That's it. No. You know what they're doing? They're saying, all right, man, we're worried that LA might shut things down.
Right.
And we're not going to play a Super Bowl in a anything less than 100% capacity stadium. If California puts something in, you know where we can go? Texas. Texas will let them all in.
Absolutely, especially Jerry.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, even if there were some kind of shutdown, Jerry would say, screw that. We're opening the doors. Come see the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Arlington and Frisco could put in some rules.
I guarantee you.
Arlington will say, we're open. We're open. And again, I look at like our Super Bowl credential stuff got all approved yesterday.
Right.
So we've got to book flights and hotels and all that. And it's just like, just make sure you get the insurance.
Right. And you're going to have to, because you just never know, especially with the state of California. Now, the NFL claims that this is just standard operating procedure.
Is it?
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, when has a Super Bowl ever been canceled and moved somewhere else?
I honestly, I don't know.
I can't think of a time.
And again, I can see in the current climate that we've been living in for now 2 years, basically, that having a backup plan is got to be standard operating procedure, right? I mean, we know they moved the draft from Las Vegas, but they're going to go back. You know, big events that weren't happening, let's do it from Roger Goodell's basement, right? You're not doing that with the Super Bowl, and they're not going to play in a half-empty building. It makes too many millions of dollars for them to do that. Having a backup, I guess, makes sense.
Well, sure it does.
But
in a state where you feel pretty certain,
but if the NFL says they always do this,
that's what they said.
I mean, but I guess it would make sense. Like, all right, if there is a plumbing issue at this stadium, where are we going to go? I can't imagine that they've always had a backup contingency for the host of the Super Bowl. And if they did, wouldn't it just be New Orleans?
But, well, I don't know. New Orleans, you never know what might happen in New Orleans from day to day.
True, but I mean, you've been to Super Bowls in New Orleans. Yeah. That's a pretty damn good place to go.
Well, New Orleans is a pretty good place to go, and then I'm getting the hell out because I'm not a New Orleans fan, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll get to know Joe on something a little bit later.
That was a freebie, by the way. We didn't even have the production there going, but yeah, we'll talk about that coming up. But isn't that why they always, like, the night before, go in and everybody flushes the toilets at the same time?
Yes.
Right. But what happens if it doesn't work? What are you going to do?
You call the plumber.
It's the night before the Super Bowl.
You call the plumber.
It's ridiculous. Come on. I mean, shouldn't they do that like a week out?
I'm sure they do. They do all kinds of tests. They do everything.
I want to see that meeting, right? Hey, everybody, we're getting together today. I want you to go to section 10 and flush the toilet.
As long as you're not doing it in Washington, because bad things are likely to happen at that stadium. I mean, that's the only one that you ever have to worry about. I mean, last week for the Eagles Washington game, the Eagles broadcast team decided not to go. They called it in Philly from a monitor, not because of COVID, but because, as their play-by-play man said, that place is a dump. It is such a dump. I don't even want to go into that stadium and go, because where they put the visiting radio crew, they might as well be calling it from their living room anyway. They didn't even travel because, in his words, that place is a dump. And then, of course, the railing fell on Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
well, he got out of the way. That was probably the best move of his all day.
He avoided a big sack. Although I appreciated how calm he was.
He was great.
As a quarterback, being that calm in a situation like that, people are falling, and he's starting to help them up and just moves out of the way.
Yeah,
that could have been
out of the way. I think
disaster.
He signed an autograph or two, too.
He probably did.
Great. I mean, that's pretty good.
Speaking of Washington, they are going to announce their new team name coming up in early February, trying to steal some Super Bowl headlines. But they've set a day when they were going to announce their team. There are some odds out about what that team name is going to be. There's already some jokes on the internet about what the team name and/or Cowboys-looking logo could be. We'll get into that coming up at 5 o'clock. Jane Slater from the NFL Network will join us at 5:30. And there is a lot of seriousness to talk about with the Dallas Cowboys and COVID. Micah Parsons is out this week.
Yes.
He's now on the COVID list.
He's on the COVID list, and he feels bad about it. He came out and he said, he feels like he let the team down. And I appreciate his sentiment. He's not going to be able to play. But I think this is a good thing, Jason, because I'm let him rest. He's arguably your best defensive player. Right?
Defensive player of the year.
Rookie defensive player of the year.
Defensive player of the year.
Rookie defensive player of the year. TJ Watt, who wears that Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, is the defensive player of the year. I don't care about what you say, and you can spin it any way you want to. Watt's going to win it. He's already won it.
He hit a sack number, a total number of sacks that puts him in that category.
Right.
Prior to that game, I think TJ was in the running, but he didn't have it wrapped up. I look at what Micah Parsons has done this year as a rookie. And you're right, rookie defense player of the year, that's a no-doubter. But the versatility that Micah Parsons has shown, let alone the dude didn't opt out of a bowl game last year. He opted out of the entire season.
Right.
For him to have that much time off and come in and have the impact that he has had, I think he is in the running to win Defensive Player of the Year. Not just rookie Defensive Player of the Year. I think he could be the overall Defensive Player of the Year.
It's not going to happen. It won't happen. I'm telling you right now.
One of the knocks on TJ Watt is their team sucks.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well,
he's the best defensive player in the league. Defensive Player of the Year.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, Micah Parsons, maybe he gets third.
Do you? Who's second? Aaron Donald?
You could put Donald in there. Well, it's going to be. We may see Donald tackle Dak Prescott a couple of times. I mean, that could happen still. It could be the Rams Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs.
But by then, though, we'll already know who won or the voting for Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons will already. They're working on the engraving on that particular trophy. They'll announce it NFL Honors Super Bowl week there in Los Angeles or maybe Dallas, depending on what is going on in the world.
That would be kind of cool, actually. It really would be. Jerry Jones would probably still have his suite. And then the Cowboys probably get free tickets, too.
Nobody gets free tickets to the Super Bowl.
Well, the Cowboys might.
No, they'll still pay. I mean,
Dak Prescott could be 50-yard line right there.
If for the right price. And he could certainly afford it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Cowboys this game coming up. Everybody is saying that they are going to play, which I think is ridiculous. You're not going to get on a roll in week 17. If you haven't figured it out by now, you kind of are what you are.
Zeke Elliott.
And with the Cowboys, at this point, penalties are an issue. And when they have penalties, the offense doesn't work. They've got to play a clean football game, and that's what it boils down to.
The offensive line is committing a lot of those penalties, right? And I was fascinated, Jason. I saw something the other day. And we're talking about the offensive line and their struggles. The best offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
How many holding penalties does he have?
Zero.
That's incredible. So stop whining about flags and holding. I mean, obviously, if Zach Martin is not getting called for holding penalties, the other guys are, then they're holding. It's obvious.
But could they have called Zach Martin for a hold? Yes. What gets me, and I think why some of those players were bitching after the game the other day, and I am not a fan of that, dude. You committed the penalty. When I saw the replay, looked like a penalty to me. But there was like 2 holding penalties on the Cowboys that were behind the play. They had zero impact on the play. Ref doesn't have to throw that one.
He doesn't have to, but it was holding.
But again, once the guy's gone by, if you're holding after that, I mean, the ref, and because you literally could call holding on just about every play.
Sure you could.
But, that's the stuff that I think frustrates me, probably was frustrating those guys. But we do know that penalties are an issue. The run game is an issue. Mike McCarthy was talking about today. We'll get into that coming up in a bit. But one of the more interesting stories in the NFL involves Aaron Rodgers, who is the MVP this year.
I would say so, yes.
But a guy named Hub Arkush is one of the 50 voters for the MVP award. And Hub Arkush went on 670 The Score in Chicago and said that he will not vote for Aaron Rodgers because he's a jerk. And he's unvaccinated and he hurt his team. He and I'm paraphrasing, said, in the offseason, he held his teammates hostage. He held his coaches hostage. He held the fan base hostage. How do you reward a guy like that? Well, Hub, isn't it supposed to be what happens between the lines?
That's exactly what it is. So Hub is showing his jerkness.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, that's a jerk move. I mean, how many guys have won the MVP that are probably jerks? I mean, there probably are a number of them.
For the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and John McClain, who joins us every Thursday, is one of the voters. Shereen Williams, who joins us on Tuesday, is one of the voters. They're very powerful in NFL media in selecting the Hall of Fame. And they will both tell you, in their bylaws, you don't take a guy's character into consideration. It is purely what happens on the football field. It has nothing to do with outside stuff. That's why OJ is still in the Hall of Fame, right?
Of course.
Outside stuff doesn't matter. What did you do on the field? That, you could be a jerk. You can be a really bad dude, but if you're really good at football, you can be a Hall of Famer.
So you think OJ's a jerk? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he's a jerk. I'm just saying that, he did some things,
He did.
Although he's still in the Bills Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But I look at from the AP voting rules, they don't have anything like that in their rules. So I guess for Hub Arkush, he feels like his decision is based solely on, and it's like those old crotchety baseball writers that will keep certain players out of the Hall of Fame because they were jerks. I'm thinking more Barry Bonds, all the people that didn't want to vote for Barry because he was mean to the media. Then realizing, well, you know what that means. I mean, if you're mean to the media, they're the ones that vote you into these things. But it's against the rules for an AP voter to say who they voted for. But apparently it's not against the rules to say who you won't be voting for. And Hub Arkush went on the radio and said he will not vote for Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers today was asked about that during his press conference there in Green Bay.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum. He doesn't know me. I don't know who he is. No one knew who he was probably until yesterday's comments. But I mean, and I listened to the comments, but to say he had his mind made up in the summertime, in the off season, that I had zero chance of winning MVP, in my opinion, should exclude future votes. His problem isn't with me being a bad guy or the biggest jerk in the league. Because he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything about me. I mean, I've never met him. I've never had lunch with him. I've never had an interview with him. His problem is I'm not vaccinated. So if he wants to go on a crusade and collude and come up with an extra letter to put on the award just for this season and make it the most valuable vaccinated player, then he should do that. But he's a bum, and I'm not going to waste any time worrying about that stuff. He has no idea who I am. He's never talked to me in his life. But it's unfortunate that those sentiments. It's surprising that he would even say that, to be honest. But I knew this was possible. Talked about it on McAfee weeks ago. But crazy.
It's interesting, and I appreciate Aaron Rodgers' response. And I don't know at what point Aaron Rodgers developed his personality into this Zen-like, when you hear him doing interviews, when he's on McAfee, everything was calculated in the offseason. I mean, but he's an intelligent guy. We know that.
I think so, yeah.
I love this response to Hub Arkush. Hub Arkush is wrong on so many levels as a voter, as a journalist, to be unbiased and what you're supposed to vote for, or how you're either whatever you do, but publicly, how do you say that now? I won't vote for this guy because he is a jerk. That's wrong. The AP should take his voting privileges away.
I agree. I mean, you can think somebody's a jerk all day long. I mean, we all have our biases. We all have our opinions, but you just sometimes got to keep your mouth shut. You think that, and then vote for somebody else. He could vote for somebody else, and nobody would know the difference, right? He didn't have to vote for Aaron Rodgers, but keep your mouth shut. But I love what Aaron Rodgers says there. Because, see, everything now it's political, Jason. It is, especially when it comes to what Rodgers was talking about, the vaccine and COVID and all that. It's all political. Let's just keep that out of it. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about what Aaron Rodgers is doing on the field. And what Aaron Rodgers is doing on the field is MVP-like. And so if you don't want to vote for him, don't vote for him, but keep your mouth shut.
When I look at Aaron Rodgers, when he had to miss time because of COVID, when he was out, and if that would have cost Green Bay the #1 seed, then I think Hub Arkush, your argument, I understand what you're saying. You cost your team because you missed that game. Don't say it's because you're a jerk, but I mean, and again, don't say why you didn't vote for somebody, because whoever he does end up voting for, you're going to make the argument why you voted for this person over that person. And then it just becomes a debate, an opinion. And my opinion is this, your opinion is that. But you know what? My opinion, I have this vote. But don't tell me you're not voting for a guy because he's a jerk.
Here's the deal, Jason. I'm going to tell you this. I've never heard of Hub Arkush, honestly. And maybe I'm the only one in this room that hasn't. But now the only reason I know who he is because he came out and said what he said about Aaron Rodgers. And sometimes I think that's the plan. Hey, I'm going to go say something outlandish about somebody, and everybody's going to be talking about me, and I'm going to get my 15 minutes. And so I think that's what this Hub Arkush has done here. I mean, that's the only – I can't think of any other reason why he would do that.
Just being on now, Hub is on a national scale. I mean, he's been around for a long time.
I've never heard of him.
Well, then he's dirt. I don't know. If Joe's never heard of the guy, he's just dirt. He's been around a while. There's a reason he is one of 50 with a vote. He's done enough. His reputation, his opinion matters when it comes to NFL media. But when he's way off on something, it's fair to call him out. To me, this is so much more egregious than Kirk Herbstreit saying players today don't love the game like when I was playing college football.
Well,
right?
That's an opinion, though.
Right? And again, Hub's saying it's his opinion. He won't vote because I think this guy's a jerk.
But Herbstreit's not voting for anybody.
But when you're saying stuff publicly that you know is going to sway some people, because there might be other voters that might be thinking the same thing, that maybe Hub is got them to say, well, you know what, if Hub's doing it, then I'll feel pretty good about not voting for Aaron because my conscience says he's not vaccinated, so screw him. I can't vote for him for MVP, which is wrong.
Right. And now what's going to happen if Aaron Rodgers doesn't win the MVP award? We're going to know what happened, honestly, because I can't see what other player in your mind right now is even close to Aaron Rodgers.
There's none. None. When it comes to MVP voting right now, there has been a number of guys this football season that were playing at an MVP type level, but they haven't done it the entire season.
Not at all.
The ups and downs, other than maybe Tom Brady. And even Tom Brady has had some very un-MVP type moments. Jonathan Taylor, what he's done in Indianapolis, could he end up winning it? Yeah. But
maybe,
is he? I mean, and he's probably second on the list.
I would say, yeah, probably, but a distant second.
What he's doing with that Colts team, I would say if Rodgers wasn't, he would be the favorite with how he has played this year.
I'll give you that.
But he's playing for the Indianapolis Colts, so how many people?
Well, and I mean, if
pay attention,
if you had to bet right now on what team is going to win the Super Bowl, you'd bet the Green Bay Packers.
I wouldn't, but
who would you?
Well, am I using my money or your money?
No, your money.
Well, my money would never go on a team wearing yellow pants, but that's just me. I mean, no, in all seriousness, Green Bay is one of those teams for me that always looks good until they don't, right? I look at a player like Aaron Rodgers and the teams he's had, and I'm baffled that he has one Super Bowl. Just one. A number of times they've made the NFC Championship game. Hell, if it wasn't for the one, he'd get compared to Jim Kelly. And Jim Kelly had a hell of a career, but he lost 4 Super Bowls. There's something about that Packer team that can only go so far, which would keep me from putting money on them because they just haven't gotten over that final hurdle.
The difference this year in the Green Bay Packers is their defense, though. Their defense is better than it's been, I think, in a long time. And that's the difference. And I think Rodgers has got a chemistry with Davante Adams that I've never seen before. And Davante Adams is the best receiver the Packers have, obviously, and one of the best receivers in the NFL, but he always gets open. I don't know how that happens, but he always does. And they're incredible together. So if I had to, you said, Joe, who's winning the Super Bowl today? The Green Bay Packers are winning.
Even though your Tennessee Titans are the 1 seed in the AFC.
Even though they are the 1 seed. You see, I can get over my homerness, okay?
Well, I didn't say Cowboys. I just said not Packers.
You were
There's a difference.
thinking Cowboys.
No, right now, no. You know the team that scares me? The team that plays in the stadium that may or may not host the Super Bowl.
The Rams.
If they get on a roll, they could be the first team that plays
Absolute.
the Super Bowl in their home stadium. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We'll play the game Get to Know Joe coming up in a bit. Jane Slater will join us at 5:30. You can always be a part of the show on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, or on Twitter. He is at JoeKens5. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix, or James Pledger, who's producing as always. He's on Twitter at I am Pledger. You know, injuries do happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more online at tsaog.com or schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490. 804-5490. Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News joins us next, right after Sports Center from James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. We'll start things off with the NFL news. As COVID numbers continue to rise, the NFL is covering its bases as they and the Dallas Cowboys have spoken and are looking to AT&T Stadium as a potential backup site for Super Bowl 56, according to reports. Next month's game is currently scheduled to take place at SoFi Stadium in California. The Dallas Cowboys will likely not have linebacker Micah Parsons on Saturday when they take on the Philadelphia Eagles to close out the regular season, as he was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list today. Parsons was 1.5 sacks shy of the rookie record set by Javon Curse back in 1999, as he's put himself in contention not only to be the defensive rookie of the year, but player of the year as well, with his 13 sacks, 84 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles on the season. In college football news, the Texas A&M Aggies have replaced defensive coordinator Mike Elko, who left last year, to be the new head coach of the Duke Blue Devils. As according to Yahoo Sports' Pete Thamel, the Aggies are finalizing a deal with Ole Miss defensive coordinator DJ Durkin to take on the same role at Texas A&M. Finally, in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs dropped their fourth straight as they fell in Toronto to the Raptors 129-104. Devin Vassell and Josh Primo each had 15 points in the loss. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
America's best high school football players are coming to Texas. It's the All-American Bowl on Saturday, January 8th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Trevor Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the best of the best at the All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by H-E-B. 2 exciting games for $10 in the lower bowl. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Yeah! Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxutrol, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine that little blue pill on steroids. Noxutrol is so powerful. That's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxutrol free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxutrol dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
To get a free bottle of Noxutrol, call 800-844-9465. That's 800-844-9465. Free bottles for limited time. So call now. 800-844-9465. 800-844-9465.
Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The city has a broad wide view, so too narrow it to bring to you. We brought in Maddy Skyeline. We brought in Maddy Skyeline.
It is time for Maddy Skyeline. Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express News, joining us here on the Blitz. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Joe, meet Maddy. We're actually in studio, and she's in her kitchen.
Well, hey, Maddy.
And he's trying to clean stuff up. Oh, that's all. What was that garment hanging on the? Get that out of there. There you are. All right, we couldn't hear you for a minute. Welcome in, Maddy.
Hey, guys. Hey, Joe. Congratulations. I just heard the news, A, that you're joining, and then B, your very storied career at Kent 5.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if you remembered, but I worked with you at Kent 5 back in like 2014, I think.
I do remember that. I do.
No, you don't.
No, I actually do.
You can say no.
Dude, no, 2014. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
That's the last time the Spurs won a championship. Feels like forever.
I know, right?
Yeah,
but
it was a good year.
Well, I tell you what, this year has started out with a bang, that's for sure. And so I'm very excited and just looking forward to see what happens next.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, what's great is that you're happening next, and that's a good thing.
Well,
it just keeps getting better.
Well, that's it. And there's so much to talk about. Now, Maddy, you've got a lot of different stories going on mysa.com, including about Joe Reinagel's retirement and joining the Blitz, which, should probably be pinned to the top of the page. But, I'm not the food and culture editor. But there are a couple of scary stories. The one about these fake COVID testing sites, to me, that's scarier than the parking scan to pay to park, and you realize that's not real either.
Wait, that's not real either?
Well, sometimes they might not be. You might be thinking you're paying to park and realize you're not.
Who have I been paying? And then so you pay, then you get your car towed? Is that what happens?
Pretty much, but Pledger's living well off of that little scam, so it's working out pretty good.
Oh my goodness, I had not heard of that. Now I'm going to be very skeptical. But
you should be.
So there have been, it's been happening across the country, fraudulent or kind of sketchy testing locations. And the scary thing is nobody really knows where that information goes. But the biggest tip is, you shouldn't be giving away any personal information like social security numbers. You should be looking out to see if there are logos on any of the paperwork. You shouldn't have to pay for a testing site, like one of those pop-up testing sites. So I actually thought that I had encountered one right before New Year's Eve, but it turns out it wasn't, because it seemed a little off. But I did get my results eventually, and it was legitimate. But that kind of got my wheels turning, because I've been telling friends, like, hey, they promised me my results by this day, and it's been days, like 5 days, and I still haven't gotten my results. And my friends were telling me that they had seen reports of these kind of rogue testing sites. And then I did my research, and there had been some in Chicago, Florida, any big major city. And I reached out to Metro Health, and they said, yeah, they had seen the same reports, and they shared a few tips on how to avoid them or what to do when you do think that you're at one. But the tried and true sites are all vetted and are on the COVID-19 website provided by the San Antonio local government. It's COVID-19 sanantonio.gov, I believe. It's on my story. But that list is like a trusted and vetted compilation of sites that you can go to. Of course, right now, everything's kind of backlogged because of Omicron and the surge. But if you think, obviously, that you have COVID, or you should, just wait until you get your results and stay at home if you can, or you should stay at home for those 5 days, 10 days. It's all very confusing. I know.
It really is. So, Maddy, what's a typical, you said you had to wait and you were worried about it. What is a typical wait for a result for something like that?
Right. So usually all throughout these past, God, I can't believe it's been 2 years, but throughout these 2 years, I usually go to curative. And that wait, when you're not in the surge, is usually like a day, 2 days the most. So when I was waiting for my test from the original site, I finally got one with curative too. And so curative actually got me my results within those 5 days that I was waiting for the first place that I went to, if that makes sense. So I think at the most, in the surge, when I went to go swab my nose, they told me that you could wait up to 3 days. But I ended up getting my results in like a day and a half still. So
it's interesting because generally 24 to 48 is what they've said, but the labs are so backed up because these testing sites and the people waiting in their cars
everywhere
for hours. I know there's one like 1604 near Stone Oak. I thought, man, what's going on over there at Torchy's? The line's forever. No, it's just going to something. I was leaving the radio station and I thought there was a funeral procession going into Sunset Funeral Home right there on Austin Highway. Turns out those were all people waiting to get tested.
Wow.
But the line was so long. I was like, man, I wonder who passed that. I mean, because this guy must be popular. I mean, this should be in the news. Then you realize that's for the testing, which is just insane. Maddy Skye from the Express News joining us here on the Blitz, as she does every Wednesday, to tell us about all the different happenings in San Antonio, getting us caught up. And there is a place probably more for Reinagel than for me that's about to open up. It says Dress to Impress Bar. What's the newest place I will never find myself in?
It's called Conversa, and they are promising, as the name implies, good conversation, cocktails, and it's supposed to be an elevated experience. I do want to point out, because I've seen a lot of very nonstop jokes about this on Twitter, that I thought it was clear that people keep saying, oh, it looks like that's where the Sims are going to go party. They're renderings. The bar isn't open yet. They haven't had a grand opening. There are no photos. So these are design renderings. Those are not real photos of the interior. Of course, like I thought I didn't have to say that, but apparently I do. So it's a multi-level bar, and it's between the Dominion area and the Rim. They're going to have, specialty cocktails, the cocktail bar. So the bottom floor is, I think, supposed to be, they're calling it smart casual, but essentially no baseball caps, no sandals, no chanclas, no shorts. And then the top floor is going to be a more like cocktail lounge experience. So
sounds like the perfect Reinagel hangout.
Well, it probably will. I know, but you dress it. That's your dress up. Chanclas and shorts and a baseball hat. That's what Jason will go to church that way. I mean, that's
but you said that it's not allowed. It's dressed.
Church? Wait, that's a new revelation.
What's that?
If a Jason goes to church, that's a new revelation.
Well, there's that too.
I couldn't think of a schwanky place, Maddy.
Is the Rue Pub not a church? There's one in the strip center. It's over there on the right.
Some might consider that a church.
It every now and then, daily. Anything else happening in the great city, Maddy?
We have openings, we have closings. Obviously, Splashtown closed in the fall. I think everybody's gone to Splashtown at least once in their life as a San Antonian. And I spoke to somebody who does these Urban X style paranormal investigations. And he goes to abandoned places throughout the country. He's based here in Texas, so most of it is in Texas. But he got to walk around Splashtown during December, and the photos that he took, if you look at them, they're on my Twitter, it looks like Splashtown closed years ago. Like, it's so amazing to see how quickly the site just decayed. You know, there's still water in some of the pools. The tubes are still inflated, but it looks like something out of a horror movie. It's just kind of crazy to see this place that so many San Antonians have had so many memories since 1985. It's just kind of sitting there, rusting and withering away. It's supposed to become a car dealership, is what's been reported before, but the photos are kind of striking.
I love that kind of stuff, that paranormal stuff. I watch Ghost Adventures. That's my binge.
Really?
Yeah, I love Ghost Adventures, and so, man, I mean, because they're funny and they're chasing the ghosts around, and
sure,
I would love to go to Splashtown with this guy.
Well, yeah, to walk around, but not to get in that pool. Did you see some of those photos? I mean, that looks.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
well, I can see some ghosts creeping around.
I'm not going to make jokes, but it kind of reminds me of what it was like when it was open. But I'm kidding. Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express News. Your Twitter bio, Maddy, says undisputed taco queen. So yesterday on the show, tacos kind of took over the show. Okay. I want to get your opinion, your professional opinion as the undisputed taco queen.
I'm nervous.
On Dairy Queen tacos.
Oh, I think I saw some mention of that. I've never had a Dairy Queen taco, and I don't think I want to.
You've never had one.
Well, Maddy, then how can you be the undisputed taco queen if you've never had a Dairy Queen taco?
Because are Dairy Queen tacos, or is it some type of like?
It's a crunchy taco. We're talking crunchy tacos, right? Not like.
I mean, it's the equivalent. It's equivalent to Taco Bell. Is essentially what it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
I had one yesterday.
Dude,
trust me.
Taco Bell tacos are stale. All right, Dairy Queen tacos are fresh with the lettuce and the cheese and the tomatoes and
sounds like a Taco
nice
Bell.
Beef in there.
Yeah.
And the crunch is the crunch is.
So Monday we did our first show, and then Joe, of course, leaves the house to go to the TV station. Was worried about dinner. So Tuesday, I was like, "Well, what'd you end up doing?" So I went and got tacos from Dairy Queen. They're delicious. I'd not ever met anybody that's ordered tacos from Dairy Queen. I love Dairy Queen. Steak fingers in the gravy or a blizzard. Tacos? No.
I like their chicken tenders. I will say the Dairy Queen chicken tender commercials always leave me craving them. Like the way they fall and the crust just like breaks apart. But tacos, I didn't know that Dairy Queen had tacos.
Well, Maddy, I think really you should try them and have a review for us next week.
Maybe.
Will you do that? I mean, seriously, as a favor.
Joe Reinagel approves these tacos.
I wanted to take a San Antonio card.
I know,
yeah.
But then he liked them. Okay, that's the truth be told. He liked them. Yeah, he liked them.
Honest. They weren't awful. I was surprised, but I never said they were good. But again, if I'm at a Dairy Queen, tacos is the last thing I'm going to order.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean that's
because I can't be so pretentious. I did used to like back in the day some Jack in the Box. Those little smash that tacos.
Well, right.
But again, though, but let's clarify. Back in the day, you were probably coming home from the bar, and it was dark outside, because they're great when the sun is not around, and you aren't 100% sober. That's the only time I know anybody that gets Jack in the Box tacos. And they used to be 3 for $1. Now they're 2 for $1.19. I shouldn't know that, but I do.
Right.
And then again, because you might have the munchies, that's why you get the egg rolls there at Jack in the Box, because again, they're not bad, but you're not going to Jack in the Box because you want egg rolls. You add them onto the order.
I didn't know they had egg rolls either.
See, I didn't know that either. You're learning a lot today, aren't you, Maddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's why she comes here, for food and culture advice.
Her next segment, Dairy Queen tacos versus Jack in the Box.
It's definitely a palate cleanser for sure.
You'll need to do some cleansing after that. That's for sure. Maddy, always appreciate it. We'll talk with you next week.
Good to see you, Maddy.
Bye. Nice to see y'all.
Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News, as she joins us every Wednesday at 4:30 to give us the happenings of what's happening in town.
I think we gave her the happenings, what's happening in town today.
I think she's not going to make it to Dairy Queen.
You got to understand, I'm from a small town. You didn't have a Dairy Queen in Copperas Cove?
I did. I went and I got steak fingers, a Hunger Buster, or a Blizzard. In fact, Copper's Cove, Texas has 2 Dairy Queens.
Well, Alice, Texas has 2 Dairy Queens too, but we only went to the one because it was better than the other one. And the tacos there were delicious.
I never had the tacos.
Dude, I'm telling you, you have now.
Until yesterday, I don't know anybody that's ever had
and they're
the tacos
delicious.
there.
Yeah.
They're not delicious. I mean, again, if you would have said, you know what, I mean, because we all have our guilty pleasure foods. So,
sure.
You know, that, but you don't tell people. And you don't say it's delicious.
So now you're accusing me of being Hub, what's his name now?
Arkish. Yes, you're Hub Arkish. Yeah, being a jerk about your DQ tacos. Good
You're welcome.
Lord. We'll get to know Joe a little bit more. Get to know Joe. If you've got something you want to ask Joe, you want to know anything about him, he's an open book. 656-ESPN, 656-3776, or on Twitter at JoeKens5. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, you know there's one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the number, 651-5899. Quarter Moon, they're a full-service company. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, they do not have commission sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. In a week like this, you might need your AC, you might need your heater, all in the same week if you're having an issue with either or your plumbing. 210-651-5899 or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
The 2021 Bowl celebration is on. It's nonstop four-quarter action all season long, from the Cotton and Orange Bowls all the way to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, presented by Ewald Kubota on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
My name is Sue. I'm 58, and I work with kindergartners. I've been overweight all my life. Over the years, my weight led to high cholesterol, joint pain, and body aches. Getting up and down with kids was hard. I couldn't sit on the floor without finding something to help me up. Once I got up, hip pain would prevent me from walking normally. I had heard the Institute for Functional Health commercials for a long time and thought, maybe this will help me. I called and met with Dr. Torres and immediately liked him. He was very personable. I can't explain it, but something finally clicked inside me. After being on his program, I lost 45 pounds, and for the first time in my life, I feel comfortable and am proud of myself. My husband and I have been married 25 years, and I'm now thinner than the day we met. My blood work is optimal, I'm active, better at my job, and I feel in control of my health. This has truly changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Was the guy who wrecked the company vehicle distracted because he was too busy making a TikTok video instead of watching the road? He still only has 2 followers, his mom and dad. But now you're hurt and need help. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
I need postcards printed and designed. Oh, and a targeted direct mail campaign.
It's possible at Staples.
I need my presentation printed, bound, and perfect.
Also possible. Your local Staples store can help your business navigate the future of work with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Now get 25% off custom printed labels, postcards, flyers, brochures, and more when you spend $60 or more. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 129 in store only. See staples.com/print for details.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2501 package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson on your home for Rangers baseball. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Officially announced his retirement from Ken's 5. The press release went out today.
And obviously we've been talking about it for some time at the station there, but the official press release just went out today. And so, it's really bittersweet. It was a great journey for 25 years. Some great people at Ken's 5. But man, I'm ready to see what the other side does.
Well, and again, the idea that it doesn't say in there what you're going to do next except spend time with your family. But this job allows you to spend a lot more time with your family. I mean, you just recently got remarried.
I did,
and you'll get off work now at 7 instead of 11.
Oh, really?
That's
nice.
Unless you stay here all night with Pledge working on whatever he does till 11
I'm not going to hang
night.
with Pledge, man. I've already heard stories about hanging with Pledge. He gets you in trouble.
But you have a good time.
You do?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Rudy J was telling me, man, he doesn't even hang with Pledge.
It's hard to, hanging with Pledge and hanging with Pledge are two different things. I mean, at the bar, it's tough to hang with Pledge. I'm just saying.
He moves around a little.
He moves around a little, might do that, but it is what it is. But as we get to know Joe.
Getting to know Joe.
Married, but you do have 5 daughters.
I have 5 daughters, yes.
And how many grandkids?
4.
4 already?
And I'm going to have a complete village before it's all said and done, I think. I mean, seriously. With 5 girls,
I have 1.
I know.
I mean, are you sure you can walk away from that TV paycheck knowing that you got 5 and all the grandkids?
Dude,
you might need a 3rd job.
They're all out of the house, and I've already told them I'm spending the inheritance. There'll be nothing left.
At what point are they off the payroll?
They're off. Well, all but one. All but one. But yeah, because they're married. 4 of them are married.
Okay.
Right? So they're off. And one's not, and so she's not. But
mine is 23, just graduated, has her master's degree, and I'm just waiting for the job that can at least give me rent relief. She doesn't have to be 100% off the payroll, but can I stop paying rent in Phoenix? Pretty expensive place to live.
I know you better than that. If Erica says, Daddy, buy that, you're going to buy it. Are you kidding? She's got you wrapped around all your fingers.
Well, you got 5, right? I mean, you would know. you would know. What else do we need to know about Mr. Reinagels?
Well, I don't know. I just told you I like the paranormal stuff. I love that stuff, right? I'm not sure that I completely 100% believe in it, but I like it. I like watching that stuff. And have you ever seen Ghost Adventures?
I've watched a little bit. I am not into it.
Dude, I love that show because you know why? Those guys are funny. And they make it funny, right? They're looking around at ghosts and they got their little things and they get scared and they're funny.
My daughter is very much into ghost stuff, right? I when I say very much into the shows. So when we travel around, we'll, a couple of times have done the little ghost tours. Like we did one in Atlanta, which actually was kind of awesome. Although you don't see any ghosts. New Orleans. There's lots of that there. But you said you're not a fan of the city of New Orleans?
I despise the city of New Orleans. Okay, I do. If I have to go there, I go there. But it's like if the Spurs, are still ever get to a finals and they have to go to New Orleans to play, I'm not going. I'll stay here.
You are going. You will go,
dude. That place is just evil. It's evil.
Well, what happened to you in New Orleans that you hate one of the greatest cities in the country?
I don't remember.
That's part of the problem. So too many hurricanes on bourbon.
No, I just never. I don't know what it is about New Orleans. I know everybody that the food is great, the culture. I just get the creeps when I go to New Orleans.
It's because I love going to New Orleans, or loved. And can I say it that way? Nashville has become one of my favorite cities.
Never been to Nashville. I'd love to go.
Nashville is incredible.
And I'm a Titan fan.
I might need a couple trips to New Orleans just to confirm that Nashville has passed it as my #1 destination, not including Las Vegas. But
what is it you like about New Orleans.
It
stinks.
So go to Frenchman Street, get off Bourbon, because that's where the rookies go. And Bourbon Street has got that wonderful smell of alcohol and puke.
Pee and something else.
But if you go over to Frenchman Street, it's better music, less crowded, and cheaper. Although it's hard to beat 4 for $1 at some of the bourbon bars, but better drinks. I like Frenchman Street, and then some of the restaurants in New Orleans, like Giacomo's, is one of my favorite spots.
I'm sure it's fabulous.
But I enjoy going to New Orleans, like Vegas, man. 2 days and out. Get there on a Friday and never get an early morning flight out of New Orleans, because that airport, if you happen to make your early morning flight, you talk about the zombie apocalypse. I mean, it's just bizarre in there.
Dude, let me tell you something. And here's another experience that I had in New Orleans. I missed an exit.
Well,
I had to drive 50 miles to find another one.
So you're going to blame the city because you can't follow directions? Siri told you to turn right.
Yes, I am. Who does that? Who does that?
Well, you were probably on a bridge.
Well, of course. The whole town's a bridge. If you're not on a bridge, you're in the swamp.
I mean, so yeah, there's not another exit for a while.
Dude, I'm telling you, next time you go to New Orleans, send me a postcard. I'm not going.
They didn't tell you we're doing our show there in a couple of weeks?
No, they didn't. And we're not.
Come on, Joe. Really?
I'm not going to New Orleans. Now, Nashville, I want to go to Nashville.
Favorite stateside destination? I know you just came back from Mexico. So
Vegas. I love Vegas. And I got to spend more than 2 days in Vegas. Come on, you can't even. You're just getting started after 2 days.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
What do you go for, a week?
No, 3 or 4 days probably.
Thursday night and leave Sunday, or Friday night and leave early Monday, depending on how they're comping the rooms, is how I generally do it.
Well, basically that. But I mean, I can't remember the last time I paid for a room in Vegas, but that's neither here nor there. And it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm one of those guys. If I'm going to take the time off, I'll go on a Tuesday, or go on a Wednesday and fly back on a Saturday, something like that.
So you don't want the whole weekend?
Not necessarily, because it gets really crowded then.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to go on a Tuesday yet.
You're not old enough.
I'm not old enough to go on a Tuesday.
They got a great Luby's at the Bellagio. So 4 o'clock, a little bingo game.
I mean,
it's perfect,
right? Like going on a Tuesday. Like, I work for a living, and my wife works. I mean, it's like, just seems like all the older people I know that go during the week, they go there because it's less crowded.
And it's less crowded, right? But it's still, they'll still take your money on a Tuesday, just like they will on a Saturday.
They will. They will. What's your game in Vegas?
I love blackjack.
All right.
Blackjack guy, yeah.
We got a plan of Vegas. I'm going February 28th.
Okay.
27th.
All right.
Going to see Metallica.
Well, that's great.
You in?
What, do you think they'll let us both off at the same time?
Probably. I mean, Rob and Rudy can do an afternoon show on a Friday.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I think they could.
They could.
I mean, we'll call it show bonding, and they'll let us go.
He's going to make Jimenez do it.
He'll make Jimenez do it. I mean, we got a deep roster now. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Make sure you play one more week of the Pro Football Pick'em Challenge, brought to you by Pinkerton's Barbecue. Your chance to win a $50 gift certificate to Pinkerton's, a gift certificate to Mellow Mushroom. Go to sasportstar.com. Pick the winners of the games this week. Most correct picks win. This is the final week of the NFL season, so the final week for your chance to win those gift cards.
And this might be the hardest week to pick winners.
It really will, because you don't know who's playing.
And who's playing?
Yeah, but barbecue and pizza's on the line. So go to sasportstar.com. Get yourself registered today.
I can't wait to watch you guys play! We're ready for y'all. Let's go! The NFL playoff picture is coming together. Let's go! Let's go! Are you ready?
You gotta go out there every play and earn it!
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it!
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180! What's up?
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Do you love your garage? Can you get your cars and the kids' bikes in? Jason Minix here for Garageization, your garage storage solution. With a variety of shelving, overhead racks, slat walls, and closed cabinet options, Garageization can make your garage functional for the entire family. Call 210-664-4494 and have them give you a free customized plan for your family's needs. For over a decade, Garageization has helped people love their garage. Learn more online at GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to Texas. It's the All-American Bowl on Saturday, January 8th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Trevor Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the best of the best at the All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by HEB. 2 exciting games for $10 in the lower bowl. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Come to the South Texas RV Super Sale. Hundreds of RVs, every shape and size. Pop-up campers to spacious motorhomes, toy haulers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and more. The South Texas RV Super Sale, Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall, January 6th through the 9th. Doors open at 10 a.m.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead. With Fidelity Income Planning, we'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
I've bought $1 billion worth of used cars in 2021 at GiveMeTheVin.com. What that tells you real quick is I pay too much. Because if I didn't pay too much, I wouldn't get that many bought. And everybody loves us. Check out our reviews online. We've bought $1 billion this year already. We're the best, period. End of story. GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best used car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the home of the Cowboys, Rangers, and Aggie football. KCDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, the Blitz.
Yep, day 3 of the new Blitz. He is Joe Reinagel.
You're Jason Minix.
I am.
I wanted to say that for 3 days. Thank you.
You can. He's Joe Reinagel. We can work on this.
We should.
As we put together a new show. He's Joe Reinagel.
You're Jason Minix.
Yeah. Or you're Joe Reinagel.
Well, so are you.
No,
you're
not Joe Reinagel.
You're Jason. I don't know who I am anymore.
I'm James Pledger.
Always producing.
Always.
He's on Twitter at @IamPledger. I'm at Jason Minix. He is at Joe Kens 5. Full-time gig. And it was announced today, that you are retiring from Kens TV.
Yes. February 28th is the official date. But I'll be doing 10 o'clock show only. And so, happy to do that so I can do this show from 4 to 7.
Which is going to be fun. Now, Monday, we're going to be live out at the Roo Pub from 4 to 7. We'll have the national championship game here on San Antonio Sports Star. But Joe and I are going to be there. He's got some vacation days to burn over there at Channel 5, so I think he's going to burn one and hang out with us at the Roo Pub.
I want to hang out
and watch the game.
Yeah, I love the Roo Pub. Are you kidding me? It's the greatest place in the world to go and watch sports. It's awesome.
It is. And again, people ask, like, Joe and I have been friends for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And, you listen to me and, the show, I go to the Roo Pub a lot. It's my home away from home.
You do.
And so it's like, hey, we'll meet for beers. I'll be at the Roo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. No, and I love the Roo. What's good about the Roo, you walk in and it's just comfortable.
Yep.
You know, you're just comfortable. You get a drink, a beer, whatever you want, and the food's great. And you just sit there and you just, I mean, time just flies by. You're watching sports all over the place. It's great.
The Cowboys always great crowds watching Cowboy games.
Oh,
there.
always.
I'm curious this Sunday what we're going to see from the Dallas Cowboys, because they keep saying everybody's going to play, which I think is a mistake. And if anything, treat it like a preseason game. Let Dak go play in the first quarter. I mean, if Zeke's only going to get 9 carries, what the hell? Let him play the whole game.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, and it's always that debate. If you get hurt, was it worth it? If you don't get hurt, they need something to get into a bit of a rhythm. What's frustrating me as a Cowboy fan is what I'm hearing from the locker room right now, from the players. We're in week 17. We've never had a week 17 or week 18. We've never had let's go. We've got 16 games in the books already.
Right.
So the regular season any other year is over. At this point. I hate hearing stuff like this from Zeke Elliott.
I think we're pretty close. I think just a lot of one-offs. Maybe just like one guy here, one guy there, and and that kind of is what's been killing us. But I think we're close, and we just gotta keep grinding. We gotta keep at it and get this thing right for playoffs.
At this point, how are you getting close? I mean, you should be there by now.
And how are you going to get right for the playoffs? I mean, that's what he said. We just keep going. We'll get right for the playoffs. Well, you're playing the Eagles this week, who they're not going to play everybody. Your Cowboys aren't going to play everybody. How do you get right for the playoffs if you're not right already?
That's what's so frustrating. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys right now are what, 11-5?
11-5.
11-5.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, no, it can't be 11-5, right? It's got to be 11-6.
Are they 11-6?
They're 11-6.
It's 11-5 because 17-week schedule. We're
radio guys. Math should not be included here, right? But again, yeah, they're 11-5.
Somebody tell us on
Well, it's
right?
always weird when you think about the 17th game. Everything like at 8 games. Are we at the midway point, or is it the 9th game? I don't know. They're 11-5.
11-5. Okay.
My preseason prediction was they would be 11-6. Most Cowboy fans, if you go back to August or last March or whatever, said the Cowboys are going to go 12-5, 11-6, whatever it is. I think we would all be happy. Anything north of 10 wins.
Sure.
Right? 11 wins. We should be celebrating the way this team is playing and happy with the record. But I think the frustration is how they got there. The way they're playing right now when it matters most. They don't look like a team ready for the playoffs.
No, they don't look like a team ready for the playoffs. And I think where Cowboy fans are frustrated is that they look so good in September through mid-October?
Until the calf injury.
Until the calf injury. After the calf injury, they have not looked the same. Dak certainly hadn't looked the same. The offensive line hasn't looked the same. And granted, they've had some injuries there as well. But, they don't look good going in. Usually you want to see a team that's rolling, right? That's rolling, like the Eagles, for example. Even though you could make a case for them to line up or suit up everybody and keep playing because they're on a roll and they're playing well. So in that case, I'd like to see the momentum keep going. That may not happen because COVID is going to kind of put a crimp in some of their plans. But what gets me, Jason, and what frustrates me about what Zeke said is that these players are sometimes so programmed to say, it's one game at a time, one play at a time. We're just going to take – right, it is. But that's Zeke right there. That's something he memorized. All right, we got to just get it together. We got to just keep plugging away. We're going to get it and get right for the playoffs. I mean, it's something like somebody handing him a script before he came out to the podium and say, hey, Zeke, say this. I mean, it'd be refreshing to hear Aaron Rodgers talk when we heard him earlier in the show, and I'm sure we're going to play that again later. But speak your mind. Tell me what you're thinking. Hey, we're not playing well, and we're in trouble. We need to play better before the playoffs.
Now, the reality is if they were to say that, we'd blast them.
Why?
Because that's what we do.
I'd celebrate.
Yeah, we would.
I would celebrate.
These guys can never say anything right because if they were to say, yeah, man, we're a little nervous in there. Yeah, that locker room right now isn't confident. Or, yeah, we put together a game plan hoping things would work out. No, you put together a game plan to win, and that's what you need to say. I get all that. But, and I look at Zeke, 915 yards. He's had an off year. if he does play on Sunday or Saturday night, rather, and he has a good game, which he hasn't had for a while, he could go over 1,000 yards. Used to be, dude, you got 1,000 yards, you had a hell of a year. Not the case anymore.
No.
But mentally, we still, dude, does it feel like he's close to 1,000 this year?
No, it doesn't.
I mean, because there doesn't seem to be that commitment to the run. There doesn't seem to be that explosive run game, which I do think comes back to the offensive line. But then I hear this from Mike McCarthy.
How you tilt each and every week, how the defense is tilted towards you factors in that too, as we know. So you have to have the ability to spread the ball around to the 5 potential receivers, or you're going to be short. I mean, I just the numbers reflect that, history reflects that, and obviously quarterback production. Because at the end of the day, the quarterback has the ball every play. The quarterback touches the ball every play. So you have to make him successful. And, obviously the starting point of that is the run game. We run the football not only for the quarterback, we run the football for our whole team. Our whole team benefits from running the football.
Then run the ball more. I mean, it's not that complicated. How do you put what you put out on tape on a Sunday against Arizona, and you got a back like Zeke, and he gets 9 freaking carries?
And you got another back who arguably is just as good as Zeke, in my opinion, and he gets 3 carries. Here's the deal. I want to see Tony Pollard play every snap. I know he's a little banged up too. I want to see him play every snap on Saturday night. Rest Zeke. Tell him to go to the bench. You're not going to get 1,000 anyway. I want to see Pollard carry the football 25 times.
It'd be nice, and it'd be even better if it was Cooper Rush handing him the ball. And maybe if Cooper's in at quarterback, he will get 25 carries.
Maybe.
And I'm down for that. The third running back that they have isn't bad either. Zeke has to be right. If this team is going to, as close as Zeke thinks they are, if they're going to make a run in the postseason, Zeke has to be the dominant runner. You think about a game in Green Bay. Did you watch that none-degree game the other night with the Packers and Vikings?
Yes.
You're going to have to run the ball in a game like that.
You have to. But I'm not telling you that Pollard should run the football 25 times because I think Zeke is the guy in the playoffs. Give Tony Pollard the football in game 1 of the playoffs.
I disagree with that.
I don't. Zeke has not been Zeke for 2 years.
Zeke might not be running the ball the way Zeke runs the ball, but I don't know if there's a better back in pass protection than Ezekiel Elliott. And the way
they put him in on third downs,
the way, but they throw it every down. So the way they throw the ball, you need Zeke as a part of that passing attack. You do. I'm not ready to move on from Ezekiel Elliott. I think Tony Pollard has been great in flashes. I don't know if he can be the every down back.
I do. I think he's ready to do that. And every time he comes in, he runs a football. He had the best carry of the afternoon the other day. Arizona got called back because of a holding penalty.
And he had that long run where he hurt his foot in another game.
Exactly.
And when I look at the way the Cowboys have played, they're explosive games, if you will, where the offenses look good since the injury, since the bye week. They beat the crap out of Atlanta. Whoopee. And they beat the crap out of Washington. Whoopee.
Mm-hmm.
Every other game, they've struggled offensively. Now, some of those, they've scored over 30 like they did against the Raiders, but they did that in a loss. They scored 27 against the Saints, but, man, that was like sitting in a dentist chair watching that football game. Even the Giants, which that team sucks. they beat them 21-6. I mean, this Cowboys team has shown what they're capable of against really bad teams. They're not going to face a bad team in the playoffs.
No, they're not. And that's what should concern every Cowboy fan. Because, I know you play who's in front of you. You have no choice. The schedule is the schedule. But out of the 11 wins that they have, Jason, 3 of those are against winning teams. The rest are against losers. I mean, so that, to me, that's concerning.
Somebody asked me the other day, who was the Cowboys' most impressive win against? And I got to go back to New England. Maybe the Chargers in week 2, but even then, there's a lot of weird things that benefited the Cowboys in that game. But I look at beating the Patriots and seeing what they've turned into. That might be their most impressive win of the season.
But could they beat the Patriots today? When was that Patriot win? Week 6?
October 17th in week 6. Good for you.
Okay, week 6, right? So that was a pretty good guess, by the way.
Was.
That was nice.
That was good. Very good.
Every now and then, the blind squirrel thing. Could they beat them today? And that's a question. I mean, it's a legit question. Could they beat the Patriots today?
The crazy thing is, depends on the defense. This Cowboys defense has played well enough all year, and that is the biggest surprise of the year for the Cowboys.
Absolutely.
And I think the bigger surprise, as well as the defense has played, is bigger than as struggling as the offense has been. If the defense can get some turnovers, then they can beat the Patriots. No turnovers, no victory. That's kind of what it boils down to. This Cowboys defense has turned into the difference maker of this team. When we started this season, when you and I were in Oxnard having beers at the Rudder Room, which might be the worst bar in America, it really is a bad bar.
It's a dump.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic dump. We were talking about how this team just has to try to outscore everybody.
Right.
All of us couldn't have been more wrong on our predictions of what this Cowboys defense was going to be.
And looking at it at that point in time, knowing what the weapons the Cowboys had on this on the offense, you thought that was going to be no problem. They're going to put up 30 a game at least.
Just show up and you're going to get 30.
Exactly, 30 a game. But it's really weird how that's turned out to be complete opposite. The offense is struggling. The defense is playing well. But I'll even go farther than that. The Cowboys don't have the penalties they had in that Arizona game. They win that football game.
Agree.
They do.
And that's the what if scary factor that, as a Cowboy fan, if I say this, you're just a freaking homer. That game, that Arizona game, as ugly as it was, they lose by 3. They miss a field goal because, of course, they did. Greg the leg, right? They, and then that Dak fumble that led to a field goal. I mean, is that not really everything that you saw, those 2 plays that you don't see very well? I don't say Greg the leg because he seems to miss. He probably doesn't miss as much as it feels like, but I've got zero confidence when he goes out there unless it's under 2 minutes. He seems to be money in the final 2 minutes. Any other time, all bets are off. And Dak fumbling a ball. Those 2 plays, routine, that's the difference in the game. As poorly as it felt like they played, they probably should have beat the Arizona Cardinals.
Let me be devil's advocate with that, though. The first 3 quarters, the Cowboys were terrible offensively. But the defense steps in and holds Arizona to 3 field goals. Arizona should have won that game by 20.
Well, that's it. The defense played well enough to hold. I think the Cardinals ended up with 4 field goals in the game. 4
field goals, right.
2 touchdowns.
That could have
both by a kid from San Antonio, by the way. Dude, drop those. You're in Texas.
But that could have very easily been a 35-17 ball game.
Oh, yeah. It could have been the Denver game all over again.
Exactly.
Because the Denver game, the team should have been shut out.
Exactly.
2 late touchdowns to help your fantasy team is about the only good that those 2 touchdowns had.
A lot of that, Jason, is obviously we're talking injuries. We're talking, penalties at the wrong time and all of that. But I have never been sold on Mike McCarthy. I have not. I think in Green Bay, he stumbled away a bunch of good teams there. And I think he may be on the process of doing it here.
The reality is Jerry Jones wants to win a Super Bowl so bad.
Worse than anybody I know.
I don't think Jerry will be as patient with Mike McCarthy as he was with Jason Garrett.
You may be right.
And again, we're talking about firing a coach that has 11 wins.
True.
And in reality, in his first season, it's hard to judge or hold anybody accountable for what we saw last year with no real training camp and all the weirdness that they were dealing with and all the injuries and no Dak, right? So really in his first year, he gets 11 wins. But if they don't win in the first round of the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry started looking around at who's available.
But how many times have I listened to you before I was sitting across from you at this desk and you talking about Mike McCarthy bungled a timeout here, which he did in the Arizona game as well.
His game management's awful.
It's
and
terrible.
It's the only thing he has to do.
It's terrible.
He doesn't call plays on offense or defense. You got to manage the game, and he's not very good at it.
And then you got an offensive coordinator who everyone wanted to crown the next wonder boy. Who? What has he done? He's done nothing. He's young. He may turn out to be one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
Well, that's how coaching works.
But right now,
0-0 real
he's
fast.
not. He's getting out coached by defensive coordinators all over the league.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Jane Slater from the NFL Network will join us in about 10 minutes. But before we go to break, Washington's football team is going to announce early February their new nickname. Our good friends, there's all kinds of odds out there,
right,
on what the team name is going to be. I don't know. I think they probably just stay with football team or dump crap. I mean, something. Admirals have the best odds. Commanders have the second best odds. Now, as the former voice of the San Antonio Commanders, I'm not a fan of that. But some dude on Twitter put out the potential logo of the Washington Commanders with the Cowboy stars just not in blue, going back to Benchgate, which is kind of funny. But they've got Red Hawks, Presidents, Brigade, Defenders, Sentinels.
Yeah, I don't like any of those.
If you're a Washington fan, and I know there's a couple that listen, John Robbins, I don't get it. None of those names excite you.
Who comes up with those names?
Probably somebody getting paid millions of dollars in a focus group.
I mean, none of those things strike fear in anybody.
Well, I mean, Defenders, but isn't that the XFL team name up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Brigade?
Brigade.
Okay. Washington Commanders.
That's okay.
I mean, they're not bad, but I'm at this point, as long as this is taken, it's got to be a home run name out of, why didn't we think of that? And there's nothing on here that kind of hits that. Now, granted, this is some sports book that has put out some odds because, people will bet on anything. But it is kind of interesting that those list of names are what we're looking at right now.
Now, the Red Hogs, I get, right? Because they're going back to the Hogs were their offensive line back in the day,
somebody going to be offended, somebody that's eating pork. A vegetarian. I mean, and why? Or
that hog fraternity that's out there in Washington might.
Well, I mean, they'll probably celebrate. I mean, get a good bacon sponsor if that's the case.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kielbasa.
But Kielbasa ain't going to spend money with that team. Are you kidding me? They're great Texans.
Why not just pay the money if you're Dan Snyder for the copyright patent on Red Tails?
Well, because he's paying off a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah. He's in trouble right now.
I mean, and Red Tails would probably be the best
great.
one.
Of course.
Watch, they're just going to be the Washington Skins.
No.
Gonna be like Lee High School. All right, we're Legacy and Education Excellence Volunteers. LEE. L.E.E. What it's gonna end up being. It is.
Oh my gosh.
The Blitz. Jane Slater will join us coming up in a couple of minutes. We'll talk more about the Cowboys then. But first, let me tell you about AA Best Bail Bonds because while nobody ever plans on getting arrested, it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, somebody gets arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or go online, mybestbailbonds.com. James Slater from the NFL Network joins us next, right after the Sports Center update with breaking news with James Fletcher.
Thanks, Jason. We'll start off in college football where the Texas A&M Aggies have replaced defensive coordinator Mike Elko, who left to take on the head coaching job with the Duke Blue Devils. According to Yahoo Sports' Pete Thamel, the Aggies are finalizing a deal with Ole Miss defensive coordinator DJ Durkin to take on the same role at Texas A&M. In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs dropped their fourth straight, falling to the Toronto Raptors 129-104 last night as Jakob Poeltl led the way with 19 points and 12 boards. Devin Vassell and Josh Primo each added 15 points in 28 minutes worth of action. The Spurs now 14-22 on the year and return to action tonight again when they take on the Boston Celtics with tip-off set for 6:30. In college hoops, the 14th-ranked Texas Longhorns improved to 12-2 and 2-0 in the Big 12, beating Kansas State 70-57. Marcus Carr led the way for the Longhorns with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, while Timmy Allen added 17 points and 14 boards. The Texas A&M Aggies opened up SEC play last night as they beat Georgia in Athens 81-79. And tonight, the 25th-ranked Texas Tech Red Bears take on the 11th-ranked Iowa State Cyclones with tip-off set for 8 o'clock. I'm James Pledger.
Deep breaths. Mai's virtual meditation studio has never been busier. Imagine not working. They need a remote assistant to realign their scheduling. Blank calendar. Sorry, back to your breath. Indeed can help them hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Make calls, schedule virtual interviews, and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Peloton is bringing so much new for the new year. With the Peloton Bike, you get access to new classes and new artist series. Punch up your power with Peloton Boxing. Work out to your favorite music with 100-plus artist series classes. For a limited time, experience it all with a $550 value offer on the Peloton Bike Plus, including $300 off the Bike Plus and free setup and delivery. A $250 value. Terms apply. Learn more at onepeloton.com.
America's best high school football players are coming to Texas. It's the All-American Bowl on Saturday, January 8th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Trevor Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the best of the best at the All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by H-E-B. 2 exciting games for $10 in the lower bowl. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole, and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deidre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Texas Cheer Liquor, your one-stop shop for beer, liquor, wine, and cigars. Follow them on Facebook to keep up with specials and tastings. 4 locations, 2 on Petranco, 1 past 211, 1 at 90 in Montgomery, and the all-new Texas Cheer Liquor next to Walmart, Palo Alto Road, Suite 101.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmett's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today, 571-0318.
This is Jerry Jones, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He's Joe Reinagel.
He's Jason Minix.
It's the all-new Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star. James Pledger producing, as always, trying to track down Jane Slater, who, technically on social media, she closed on her first house today.
Oh, sweet.
So she might be kind of busy. I just texted her, but whatever. I mean, we'll continue the effort. Jane Slater, welcome to adulthood.
I was looking forward to Jane. Jane Slater is one of those people who knows the Cowboys inside and out, and is just such a pleasant person to be around.
One of the great things about Jane, and I've known her for a long time, but having her on the radio, she's got radio roots.
Ah, yes.
It's kind of like you. There are certain people that are great on television, maybe not so on radio. You can do both because radio is so different than television.
It is. Well, thanks, Jason. So you probably say the same to me when you're at parties, right? That Joe, man, he can do TV and radio, and he's so good at both.
There's a reason you're sitting in the chair. The reason I got a press release today saying you're announcing your retirement from televition.
You just can't do both at the same time, right?
Well, I mean, you did it for 2 days.
I did. Well, 2.5 now, right?
2.5. Well, the press release went out before day 3 officially got underway. And then you are going to be on TV through the end of February.
Yes.
But the idea of keeping 2 jobs.
What's great is just, this is back to my roots, right? I've got radio roots where I started in sleepy little New Braunfels, Texas, which is not sleepy anymore.
No.
It's a big metropolis, for goodness sake. So, yeah, started there. So did you.
I did. I worked up there. Pledge became my intern up there in like 2002. Was it
2002.
Wow.
2002. Still the intern. So, I mean, it's all, except now he gets paid.
Nothing changes.
He still does intern type things.
Right.
Like today, we're in the studio today, and I haven't been here in a while. And so I go into my office, and I always keep a case of water in my office, and water's in my fridge. I know there was some the last time I was here, but all the waters are gone. They're all gone. My door is locked. I don't understand, but and not. And so I was like, crap, man. So I go to the vending machine and buy a bottle of water. So I got to get through the show. And then, I went into a meeting, and I come out of the meeting, and here comes Pledger with a case of water.
Yeah.
Didn't ask him to go get water. Didn't go ask him to go get it. By the way, I owe you money. But it's like, he just knows, it's great.
Well, and he's a great producer too,
Yeah,
and so I found that out in the 2 days I've been here.
Although I got to admit, failed a little bit today, man. Failed a little bit today.
Oh, what did I miss?
I'm just, you guys, yesterday there might have been a little talk about Dairy Queen tacos on the Blitz.
Yep.
Somehow that turned into a poll on Michael Jimenez's Twitter, and Jimenez puts out 8 polls a day.
Yeah, he does.
It's ridiculous,
He does,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you guys brought Dairy Queen tacos into the studio to do your own taste test. So you go to Dairy Queen and you don't get steak fingers. I mean, I thought for sure somebody would have been smart enough to say, when these tacos don't work out, I'm still going to be hungry. Let's get some steak fingers while we're here, because we all have half an hour to kill.
Well, I just showed up and there were tacos, and he said, tell me which one tastes best.
Oh, it was a taste test.
So Jimenez
brought all the tacos in and some ice cream.
What?
He didn't bring it for
Peanut
anybody.
Buster.
Not
No.
that he knew we were all going to be here, but he didn't bring it for anybody else.
No.
Just for him to do a taste test.
Yeah.
Well, he should have known. And if Pledge would have been a good producer, he would have let him know.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I say. He failed a little bit today.
A little bit. Yeah.
I mean, it's like when I was.
I mean, if y'all want soggy tacos,
I
could've
wanted
saved
steak
you
fingers.
some.
Yeah, I don't want another Dairy Queen taco, but if you're at Dairy Queen, some steak fingers.
Or some ice cream would have been good. We got a freezer around here, don't we?
Yeah,
we got that.
there's 2 in the break room.
Oh, there you go.
Ain't nobody here, so I mean,
Right.
they're empty. If there's ice cream in there, don't be that guy just taking somebody's food. But it's been a while since people have been here.
I'm going to go check that out the next break.
Well, the freezer? Just to see what's in there?
Here's the thing. It's been a while since you've been here. People have been back for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We apparently hired another new employee who I've known for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Which one?
And I see her there. What are you doing here? I work here. Really? And then Greg Martin was like, well, if you'd ever come to work, you'd know these things. Yeah, there's email.
Yeah, you're getting pretty comfortable in your kitchen.
I've been very comfortable in the kitchen.
Yeah, you really have.
Honestly, I get more work done at home.
That's not what I saw, but I mean, it was.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I didn't see that, but I think I woke you up. In fact, the first time I knocked on the door.
Well, dude, it was your first day, and you show up at 7:30 in the morning. I mean, you had already gone to the gym.
Excited.
You were excited to come to work. You brought lunch. I mean, you had everything ready to go. Yeah, I'm not up at 7:30 in the morning.
Well,
like Robin Roode were like, hey, man, what'd you think? Dude, I don't know, man. I saw it 9:30. It looked pretty good. You know, apparently Teague is on at 8:30. I haven't woke up for that one yet.
No, it's tough. You know, I'll listen to those guys though.
I know.
On my way to the gym.
Well, see, that's all right. You go to a regular gym as we get to know Joe.
Yes.
Now that you're not going to be on TV every night and having to fit into a suit, is that going to be something that stays?
No, I'll still go. Yeah. Of course.
Well,
yeah, and you're welcome to go with me anytime.
You know, the name of your gym is what?
Anytime Fitness.
See, the name of my gym is Another Time Fitness. I was actually going to F45 for a couple of months.
Okay.
And I enjoyed getting up and going to the gym and doing stuff.
Right.
And F45 did it was then I hurt my calf pretty bad. And so I was out for a while.
Okay, Dak.
Seriously, I mean it hurt like hell, like hard to walk hurts kind of thing.
Right.
And you know, the doctor was like, all right, well, you know, do this, do that. You know, you may or may not need surgery. Let's see how it goes. Like it was hurt. And now I'm back, but I have zero motivation to get up early and go to the gym.
Well, see, I don't
that
mind.
make sense? Because I was going to a 7 a.m. class.
Oh, well, see, I don't go that early. I go about 8:30. And the reason why, see, I get up at 7 every day because Maggie has to get up.
Okay.
Right. Maggie's working from home. So she gets up. She's got to log in by 8 o'clock. So we get up at 7.
Wait. So she's working from home and has to log in by 8.
Yes.
So she's really getting up at like 7:55.
No, we get up at 7:55. 7 o'clock. Coffee, little chit chat, little, you know, whatever's on TV.
Yeah.
And then she goes to work, and then I go to the gym. You've seen my brother, right?
I have seen
He's
your brother,
mammoth.
which is why you should probably not go to the gym.
Well,
just go complete opposite.
No, here's the problem. If I don't go to the gym, you know, I'm the big brother.
Yeah.
But he's going to kick my butt.
He's going to, whether you go to the gym or not. Can I tell you a funny story about your brother?
Of course.
His brother is in my neighborhood.
Yes.
And your brother is a very big dude.
He's a big dude.
He walks around the neighborhood in a tank top showing off all his guns. And he has the littlest dog. I mean, he's got the unmanliest dog that you could have. And there's nothing funnier than when you're driving down the road and you see your brother sitting out there picking up dog crap because his at least he picks it up. But in this little white nothing dog that, quite honestly, why is he walking that thing?
Because his wife told him to.
Well, that I believe.
Yes, because
that I believe.
Even though my brother's huge, my sister-in-law is, I mean.
Yeah. But again, though, I mean, it might get lost in the backyard. That's how little the dog is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just comical. There's a big dude and this little nothing dog. Like he would be perfect if he was doing that on Venice Beach. not on the north side of San Antonio. I could see that at Muscle Beach there in California, but not over in our neighborhood. It's just comical.
Well, he likes to show off the progress.
He's very proud of him.
Very proud.
I mean, in fact, he can't believe this has turned into your brother. But
I can't either.
To give you an idea of how much time his brother spends into the gym, he would make Pledge wear a shirt with sleeves all the time because Pledge would not want to try to show off his guns at that gun show.
No, you wouldn't want to do that.
I'm just saying that he's that guy that makes everybody else feel kind of, no matter what kind of shape you think you're in, you're not.
No, you're not. He's a big dude. But he's a softie. He's a softie. I don't let the big thing.
He sucks at fantasy football, so I like seeing him donate every year.
Yeah, but that's why he quit. I don't know why he quit.
Oh, because he's a financial guy.
What place did you finish this year?
5th.
Yeah, so you suck at fantasy football too.
I did this year. I was in either first or second most of the year.
Yeah.
Then I had a bad loss to you.
Yes.
That put me down to 3rd. So I didn't get the bye week. And then first round of the playoffs, I'm playing Bill Taylor, and everybody on my team had the worst week they could possibly have. I think I had like 43 points in that game.
That's embarrassing.
It was.
To lose to Bill Taylor.
It is embarrassing to lose to Bill Taylor.
I mean, because his fantasy team isn't any better than the New York Giants, which is his team.
Well, that's not true because he was in the playoffs.
Well, that's true. Somewhere the Giants haven't been in a while.
The New York Giants version in our fantasy league would be Paul Morales. That guy makes an annual donation.
Or maybe Kevin Brock.
Kevin Brock got the booby prize this year. He was the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then the guy that talks more crap than anybody, Phil Anaya, he was a non-playoff team.
He's the commish.
And then the SOB that did auto draft wins the whole damn thing, and Rob Thompson.
Rob Thompson. Which, by the way, Rob Thompson, if you're listening, there are probably some drinks to be bought with all that prize money.
Good luck on collecting.
I don't know. We got to work on it.
You will. No,
it's frustrating.
3 steaks.
Yeah. He still owes you guys steaks.
He does.
Well, good.
Yeah, we used to do a bit called Prime Picks. Every week, pick games, last place.
So your advice to me is to not make a bet with Rob Thompson.
You can make a bet with him. Just don't plan on collecting.
Don't expect to win. What happens if you lose?
I've never lost a bet to Rob.
Okay.
So I have no idea. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Speaking of picking games, go to sasportstar.com. Our Pro Football Pick'em Challenge brought to you by Pinkerton's Barbecue. We're in the final week. Whoever wins the week, you're going to get the $50 gift card to Pinkerton's, a gift certificate to Mellow Mushroom. So get your picks in this week at sasportstar.com. We're going to play a little bit more of Getting to Know Joe as we continue here on the Blitz.
Are you ready?
You know what time it is?
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go have a day, huh?
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Joe, I'm committed to getting into shape, working out, exercising every day.
Great idea, little fat buddy.
I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da!
The Row and Go?
It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes, schools, offices, and buildings stay in tip-top shape. Every plumbing issue, every AC problem, it's our mission to fix them as fast as we can at a fair price. From the penthouse to the outhouse, call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
The Row and Go. It's going to change the way we exercise. And here's my tagline, Row and Go. It's fitness while you do your fitness.
Make it stop.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. That's 651-5899.
License number M13229 TACLA 000743458E.
Did the guy driving the 18-wheeler which wrecked into you focus too much on looking at himself in the mirror and not the road in front of him? His hair is still a mess, and now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. or call 210-201-0303 24 hours a day.
Gentlemen, now you can find the best brands and fits for you without even trying. Just follow these easy instructions. Step 1, shop a personalized store that does all the work for you by customizing a selection for your taste and body. Step 2, level up your closet with the best brands and fits with little to no effort. Not trying has never looked so good. Introducing Stitch Fix Freestyle, your personalized store. We're so you.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right, but many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. And with helpful representatives just a call away, it's easy to understand why Pi is rated excellent by customers on Trustpilot. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deirdre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Cowboys, Eagles. It's a do or die primetime showdown. Catch the pregame Saturday at 6. Kickoff at 7:15. Presented by Kubota and San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Everything's bigger in Texas. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
And even bigger now with the addition of Joe Reinagel from Ken's TV.
Great to be here, man. I'm loving this.
Full-time job here with us on
Yes.
the Star. We announced officially the retirement from Channel 5 today.
Yes.
And that's been the hardest part the last couple of days. Man, Joe's going to do both. How'd you do? They announced today he's retiring from TV. End of February, he'll be done with the TV side and just work one job.
That's it right here.
It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple of housekeeping notes. Cowboys and Eagles on Saturday night will be on San Antonio Sports Star. We're going to join it in progress after the San Antonio Sports All-Star game presented by HEB, which kicks off at 5 o'clock. In fact, Saturday going to be a full day. At noon, we'll have the All-American Bowl. Then at 5 o'clock, the San Antonio Sports All-Star game, which is always a lot of fun to broadcast. Then we'll roll into the Cowboys game, the full Cowboys broadcast over on 102.7 Jack FM.
Well, that's good. You got the full broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
Okay.
I mean, with kickoff just after 7, I imagine we'll get to
you'll
the
be
Cowboys
close.
game first quarter.
I would think so.
But Saturday's going to be a long day
Now,
for me in the Dome.
Are you calling both of those
I'm calling both games.
Oh, wow.
The noon game, the All-American Bowl, is the national broadcast on NBC,
Okay.
and we'll carry it locally here. Always a fun game to broadcast. The guys are in town working in the Dome, and I think about all the different players that I've met or called the action of that are now just total superstars at the NFL level. The most memorable might be Trevor Lawrence.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Well, because, I mean, with all that long hair and, you don't know much about him when they show up other than what the
Sunshine.
24/7 guys and just some of the ribbing he was taking on day one with this hair. Because nobody, you get off plane there, all these guys are showing up and, they're high school kids that look
Right.
like they're grown ass men, right? Trevor took some movies. I remember having drinks with Zeke's dad at Ruth's Chris, one night when Zeke was in the game. You go all the way back to Vince Young, or it's weird. Andrew Luck was probably one of the better players in the game, and nobody really even talks about him being in it because it was so long ago, because so many stars that were in this game. I mean, first time I met Martellus Bennett was in this game, and you realize that dude's going to be funny when he gets to Texas A&M. Then you realize how funny he was when he got to the Dallas Cowboys.
Love that guy at the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, everybody chased him down to get a great soundbite, right?
That's
I
what
remember Deshaun Jackson.
the flip from the 5?
Flip, remember that?
From the 5 that landed at the 2?
Yes,
I remember that. And it's just, it's glad to have this game back, because while they did all the pomp and circumstance last year, they didn't play the game because of COVID. We did the San Antonio game late January at Heroes, but both games in the Dome on Saturday, it's always a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And if I'm not mistaken, tell me if it's changed. You buy one ticket, you got both games.
Both games.
That's awesome.
$10. Go. It's you're going to see some incredible football plays in both games.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about the San Antonio game is you get all these kids that are playing together. It is a difficult game to broadcast, though.
Yeah, I bet.
It is. And I'll tell you why, because, you might say, all right, this is a kid from Madison. I know what the Madison helmet looks like, and if I know that that's so-and-so from Madison or so-and-so from Holmes or Judson or Bernie, you just look at their helmet, you know who that is.
Right.
Except for they all trade all the helmet decals, and their helmets look like NASCAR, and you have no idea.
Yeah.
And sometimes the jersey might not match the roster. Just saying.
Well, good luck with that, Jason.
Should be a lot of fun. All right. We've been doing this every week, day 3 with Joe Reinagel, as we get to know Joe.
Getting to know Joe. Getting to know Joe.
No, we didn't prep this, but I just heard a commercial talking about some dude's manicure spot. So I'll just go with that. Are you a manicure guy?
I am.
Are you really?
I am. And I wasn't, but Maggie got me hooked on this. All right.
Well, wait a minute. You guys have only been together a fairly short amount of time.
Right. 3 years.
So at the TV station, they don't have you in the back doing manis and petties and doing your hair before every show?
No. Are you kidding me? I slather on my own stuff, right? And it's minimal so you don't shine. Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to shine on camera. And then, I've been putting on hairspray for a long time, so I know how to do that.
It's very flammable in this room right now between you and I.
Exactly. But, I used to bite my fingernails. Right.
Okay.
I used to bite my fingernails, since I was a kid, and I did it all the way up, and they would look really bad. So when I started dating Maggie, she would like, man, your nails, they look bad. You need to stop biting your nails. I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, she cured me. And so it's been great. When you fall in love, Jason, you might remember this, right? I mean, you want to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You want to please the girlfriend, right?
Your Facebook certainly reminds me of a newlywed.
Well, of course, because I am very happy, very happy. You guys, you're just jealous. That's fine. I'm all right. Anyway, back to the nails. Okay, so now my nails look fabulous, right? So now
they do. They look fabulous,
don't they? They're shiny too.
First thing I was going to say, what kind of polish do you use?
Well, no polish.
Okay,
I'll tell you the secret.
Clear?
No.
Oh, there's a secret to this.
No polish. Well, that's between me and my manicurist. That's our secret. So then, there was something I thought I'd never do, right? So I did that, and then she said, "Well, you should do a pedicure." And I'm not going to do that. I don't want anybody messing with my feet. Dude, I did it once, and it was awesome. I'm hooked on it.
I will admit, you are 100% right.
Yes.
It is awesome.
It's awesome.
I have never had a manicure for whatever reason.
Okay.
When Erica graduated high school, 2016, the different people that were in town, we ended up getting pedicures. And I was like, I'm not going to get a pedicure. There's a bar right next door. Just let me know when you're done. No, you got to do this, Dad. Just doing all this dad-daughter stuff is the best thing I've ever done.
It's outstanding.
Now I get in trouble from my daughter if I get a pedicure without her. Like every time we're together, when she would come home from college, or if I'm out in Phoenix, we go and get pedicures, and I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And like this last week when she was home for Christmas and her graduation party and all that stuff, we kept calling the place, because there's only one place I will go to, because it is the best pedicure place that I found. I've gone to other places. They're not the same. So like I found the Morton's of pedicure place at the beginning, and another place like, do you have this? No, I don't know what that is. And then you get one, it's just disappointing. So now
Right.
I go to this other place, and they're constantly booked. Like, like, hey, can I get in tomorrow at 2? Nope. Can we? You know, and it's frustrating because I need one now.
We must go to the same place because mine's the same way. And I tell you what, I'll say her name. Her name's Ivy, and she's fabulous.
I don't think we're going to the same place.
She takes really well. I mean, there's more than Ivy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so she's not the only one that works there, for goodness sake.
I have no idea what my name is. It's never the same person. It's what they do. It's
well,
the
you gotta
jelly.
have this. You got to have the same person.
The jelly petty thing,
Dude, I don't have to say a word. I sit down.
It's a great guy talk.
She knows exactly. I know, right?
Somewhere our boss is driving home going, well, we said more guy talk. Let's talk pedicure.
I see a couple of guys going to the bar tonight and say, can you believe what these guys were talking about on sports radio today? But hey, it's awesome, dude. So you know, you want to get to know me. I really I enjoy that. So that's a treat. Well, it's pedicure. And we'll throw in a manicure too.
Yeah, but I've never done the manicure. And I don't know why other
well,
than
you should, because I get the hot wax on the hands too,
time,
brother.
Do you
oh,
really?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know, here's the thing, because I'll post on social when I'm getting one. The amount of dudes that will send me something private, not public, going, man, I love those, man. I'm glad you're doing that, man. Keep doing that with your daughter. I do the same thing. Because as girl dads, especially when they were little, we've all done the tea party things and all that kind of stuff that you would never want your guy friends seeing you do.
Right.
But pedicures,
dude, I'm sold.
I can't believe I was whatever years old I was when I finally did that.
Me too.
Although I've saved a lot of money through the years by not, but now that's a must.
It's a must. It's a treat. It's an
I'll get a
absolute treat.
pedicure before I pay the cable bill if I had to.
I don't know about your place, but in my place, I mean, we get drinks.
Yes. That's the other part.
That's the best part.
Yeah, they give you alcohol.
The alcohol. It's wonderful. Let's go right now.
They're booked.
Yeah, right.
They're booked. That's so frustrating. Hey, Spurs play tonight in Boston. They had a tough one last night in front of nobody in Toronto. We'll talk about the Spurs as we continue here on the Blitz. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
You tall guys, man. I feel like y'all's job is always easier.
Oh, it's always easy.
Especially a hooper, the girls go crazy because they're 6'4", 6'6". Like, there's no work involved. Down here, we got to work. We got to have conversation. Down here, you got to have game.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
I need to be able to work from anywhere, so I need to have supplies, well, everywhere.
It's possible at Staples.
I need the same setup for my home as I have at the office, without twice the cost.
Also possible, because your local Staples store has the tools your business needs to get work done. Now get 40% back in a Staples store bonus when you buy any 2 ink or toner cartridges. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/15, limit 2 in-store only. See staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Day 3 of the new Blitz. He's Joe Reinagel.
He's Jason Minix.
He has announced his retirement from Ken's TV.
I did, yes. That came out officially today. And in February. It was a great ride. I tell you what, what a journey, and the folks over there are fantastic.
Somebody posted on our Facebook Live about, oh, no, don't leave, Kent. We're loving what you're doing on the radio. Pledge, if you can find that one, throw it up on the screen. But it references Dan Cook.
Right.
And you think about the fortune for the TV station, but also for you. But you think about going from Dan Cook, I forget the dude that was there for like a week in between, you and Dan, but you essentially, carry the torch for the great Dan Cook for 25 years.
Incredible. And I tell you what, one of the best people that I ever met and had the privilege to work with, Dan Cook. I worked really closely with him for the last 4 years of his career. And man, he taught me so much, and just he's a legend. I mean, he's one of those giants that will always be the giant.
Always. And if you're new to San Antonio, think about wherever you're from, whoever that sportscaster was / newspaper columnist that everybody read or listened to or watched, no matter what. And I think about, because a lot of you don't know this, I worked at Ken's in the mid-90s. They used to have a radio station. I was floor crew guy. I did all kinds of, grunt work, young in the business. When I was getting married, the Albert Flores, who was the weather guy, we were going at dinner time, which is after the 6:30 news. He cut all the promos, and then you go to dinner. And a lot of times we'd go with Albert, and but I wasn't going to go that day because I was going to go pick up the ring I was getting Joanna. And Albert's like, well, I'll go with you. I want to see this. And he's like, no, you can't get that one. Get this one. I say, I can't afford that one. Albert Flores actually paid for my wedding ring.
Wow.
Then, and I paid him back, obviously, but with no interest, because, but I thought that was pretty cool. And
that was cool.
And then Dan Cook, I was on a flight to Las Vegas, and I see Dan, and, I know him. I was working at Ken's at the time. And he was like, well, why don't you and your wife come have dinner with us at the end of the day? And so he's staying at the Flamingo. We were at the Imperial Palace.
Right.
If you
next
remember
door.
the old Imperial Palace. With, an expensive room or a $39 room. I was in the $39 room. And, I didn't have enough money to, do Vegas the way, obviously, now. But, back then, a couple $100 for the weekend and you were good. Well, we go over to the Flamingo, and I'm all excited. We're going to have dinner with Dan Cook. This is going to be awesome, right? And Dan comes down from wherever. I have no idea where Dan Cook was, but we're in the lobby where he told us to meet him, and we're waiting for more than 10 minutes. But I would have waited for 9 hours because it's Dan Cook, right? And he comes down, and he's got this tray of chips, and he was like, "I'm going to have to cancel dinner on you guys, because I'm in the middle of a game right now. I can't go anywhere." He pulls out a chip and throws it to me and said, "But I'm buying your dinner." And he said, "You kids have fun," and off he goes. And I'm looking at this chip, and I have no idea what it is, right? So I was go over to the counter to change it. It was a $500 chip, and he had a tray of those things. I mean, the whole tray filled in, and it was the best Vegas weekend. We had a cheap dinner, but man, we had a good time.
What'd you go to McDonald's and then gambled the rest?
It might have been the Denny's right there. No, we went somewhere. Back when they had all the cheap buffets.
Absolutely,
and the steaks and the all that kind of stuff. But I just remember he just tossed me $500. I didn't know chips at the time, and it didn't have a dollar amount on it, right? It was just, I think, white with the pink stripe on it, and
that's it.
It's one I'd never seen when I changed out at the blackjack table, that's for sure.
Dan was Mr. Vegas. He would go to Vegas all the time. In fact, a quick story, I got into a cab one time in Vegas. I think it was from the airport. We were going to the hotel, and they used to have monitors in the back seat, right? They would play commercials. I'm looking outside, and Dan Cook's voice, I hear it. And I'm like, that's Dan Cook. And he was doing a commercial for somebody like welcome to Vegas or something. And I'm Dan Cook and we stay here. And Dan Cook in a Vegas cab was doing a commercial for somebody there in Vegas. So that's how much he went to Vegas and did. And so it was incredible. But he was a giant.
And back then he probably was against like TV rules and newspaper man rules to do commercials. Well, he might have cared, but this is in Vegas. They'll never see it.
They'll never know.
They'll never see it.
Well, of course, I went back and told everybody. I said, "Hey, I heard Dan Cook. It was great."
Such a of all the live broadcasts that we've been able to do, one of the coolest yet strangest is we did the Blitz. At the time, it wasn't called the Blitz, but we did the afternoon show from Sunset Funeral Home during his services, which I forget who came up with the idea to do that from the TV station. And then, obviously had to get the blessings from the family to be able to do it. But, Maru's coming in and all the different people that were there and, Simmons and, you and everybody. And it's like, we're at a funeral broadcasting live, telling Dan Cook stories, which was some of the best radio we've ever done.
Oh my gosh. And the stories go on and on and on and on and on. He was the best storyteller I've ever seen in my life.
And they're all true.
And all true.
Absolutely. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're used as an old Navy guy. There's an old saying that only a sailor will believe in other sailor stories because some of the things that happen in other countries are just, not believable, right?
Sure.
Unless you've been there as when that ship pulls in, a lot of craziness happens, right? Or Dan Cook. You can always believe a Dan Cook story.
I guarantee you Dan Cook stories were all true. And my eyes used to get up. He'd talk to people on the phone who were mad at him, right? And he would just, words I can't repeat on the radio. And he would go outside. He said, we'll come to the station then. If 70-year-old man standing out on the front steps
ready
of
to
the
fight,
station, ready to fight. And of course, they never showed up.
No, but if they did, Dan Cook would have kicked their ass.
He would have. I guarantee you.
He had old man strength.
He was a battle dude. But I tell you what, that's one of the honors of my life was able to work with him and then obviously be able to come in after him. It was nice.
And whoever Ken's hires, certainly big shoes to fill in that area. Let's go to the Kia Boss of Bacon phone lines. Bobby, you are on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. I just want to welcome Joe to San Antonio. And I just want to tell him I'm his biggest fan. I'm so happy to hear him every day now. And I want to ask him about the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
What about the Dallas Cowboys, Bobby?
I love Joe. I used to watch him on the news. He has a great head of hair, and I just can't wait to hear him every day on the radio.
Awesome, Bobby. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Bobby. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. I appreciate the phone call.
3 days in, first hair call.
First hair call. Well, hopefully it's not the last because you're
proud of your hair.
That may be a segment. Hair tips with Joe.
We're going to find a hair sponsor. Clearly
there has to be.
Look, I go to Super Great Clips or whatever, right? It's you don't. You clear. How much do you spend on your hair?
And I can tell. So it's obvious.
How much do you spend on your hair?
I really don't spend that much.
Don't
honestly.
lie.
No, I'm not kidding. $16. I just got a haircut today.
$16?
Uh-huh.
Where?
But I got the greatest person. Her name's Paula. I can't remember the name of it. She's got her own little studio.
Dude, I spent $20 for this, and it pisses me off.
You got to get your money back.
I mean, honestly, I used to go to sports clips all the time.
You should probably go back.
The MVP and they do all that. The prices got too much. So, it's now the great place. It's a step above super. But yeah, I mean, but $20 after the tip, you go 16 for that. I figured you're spending $50-$60 a week on your hair.
No, I used to do that. I'd go to those men's places like I don't want to mention any names, but where they've got the full bar and they go in and all that stuff, and it's $50.
See, now I wouldn't mind that spending that kind, because those places, you get a good haircut, but you could sit there for a couple hours and it's the free alcohol in there.
Sure.
I mean, you're really paying a lot of money. It's like free drinks in Vegas. They're not really free.
No.
But it feels that way.
Well, of course it feels that way. Here's another thing you want to get to know about me. I like to spend money on certain things.
Uh-huh.
There are some things I despise spending money on. Haircuts, clothes. Those are two that I can think of right now. Everything else I splurge and I'll spend money, but there are certain things I don't.
I'm with you. I don't mind spending a lot of things, but I am extremely cheap on certain things.
Exactly.
I mean, it's all in perceived value.
Exactly.
Although
right.
I've seen you out, I'm surprised you're cheap when it comes to clothes.
Well, it depends.
I mean, you don't look like you're buying your shirts. You're buying cheap shirts.
No, they're not that expensive though. I mean, you can find good quality shirts that in a decent price range.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Joe, you don't put anything, like there's no like scalp rinse or there's no maintenance to keep that beautiful head of hair for as long as you
I mean, what Pledge is trying to realize, you look at his lettuce over there and he spends $45 for that.
Well, I'm just wondering if there's a shower
Well, he needs to get a
routine.
refund then.
Well, no, it costs a lot of money to make it look like you just got out of bed and your hair is done.
Nothing. No, I'm just naturally gifted.
No, you're not. I've known you too long.
Naturally gifted.
I've known you too long.
Well,
when you worked in radio, you didn't have the helmet thing going, and then you get on the TV and the amount of hairspray, and although it used to be a lot blonder.
Well, it used to be, but luckily it's not gray yet, right?
True.
Yeah, see, here's good. Look at this. Botello, Dillard's clearance section. Great place. And he's right. Absolutely right. You go and you'll find some good things. You can even go into Macy's. And they've got some good clearance stuff. That's what you do.
All right.
And come February 28th, you won't see the helmet anymore. You'll see Pledge on me.
Really? Ball cap every day? Go from there?
There you go.
As long as it's not a Cardinals hat, you'll be allowed in the building.
Oh, we got lots of those.
I figured you did. Speaking of baseball, did you, the other day, Joe realized I mean, we were talking, and he has never watched the Manning cast for Monday Night Football.
Nope.
Now, granted, you work on Monday nights,
right.
So, the game's on and but you're working, but kind of background noise. You watched it, but it was background noise the other night.
Yes.
That's successful. And that's going to be the new thing when it comes to major sporting events. You could just tell that formula works. It's so much better than like when you're watching the bowl games or the big games and they put all the coaches around, because that's too much coach speak. But I could see the Manning cast becoming a new norm of a way to watch games. It hasn't taken long. Alex Rodriguez is now in talks of coming up with a Manning cast like deal for baseball coverage.
Who the hell wants to listen to Alex Rodriguez?
Well, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, you look at ESPN, and I think he does a good job right now with Carl Ravitch and Eduardo Perez on their baseball coverage. They're talking about putting in David Cohn to take A-Rod's spot and then put A-Rod. They haven't. There's no reports yet of who he's going to be paired with. Watching baseball on TV is hard enough. Imagine watching baseball without the real play-by-play, but just story time with A-Rod.
Yeah, it's got to be somebody else. Funny. What makes the Manning cast funny is that Peyton Manning is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's funny, right? And he works well with, from what I saw the other night, he works well with Eli. And they have some great guests. The deal with Snoop Dogg was funny. I did watch that part of it. And so, but I mean, it's got to be. But Alex Rodriguez, I don't think Alex Rodriguez can think entertaining or funny. So I probably won't watch that one either.
I mean, I'll give it a shot just to see.
Well, good.
But
you let me know how it is.
But I can't imagine that's going to be must-watch television.
So-
where I feel bad for Steve Levy and the crew because they're telling you, hey, here's our problem. But if you want this, it's
Right.
over here. Now, the interesting thing, and I think it's just because routine, the ratings for regular Monday Night Football with Levy and company have been so much higher than the Manning cast. The Manning cast wasn't the ratings boom I think they all thought it was going to be, but it was good. It was a nice alternative and funny. But the idea that you want to try that now with baseball, no. Like if they do something like this with hockey with Barry Melrose, I think I'd be all into it. But Barry is funny as hell.
Right, or you do it with the NBA and get Charles Barkley. I'd watch that.
Doesn't it feel like that's the Manning cast kind of feels like the TNT pre and post game show?
Best show on television.
It really
on
is.
Sports television, no question.
But everybody needs to quit trying to duplicate that.
Exactly.
You can't.
Well, the other one that has the pre and post is not even close. Not even close. And right, and Michelle Beadle and Sean Elliott. Have you seen that? They do that
on the pregame
Bill
stuff.
Land, yeah, too.
I'm so excited for Beadle finally being done with whatever her contract situation was, and she can get back out doing stuff with Spurs television, which is great. And I know she's doing that podcast now. We need to get her on the show soon.
Absolutely,
she's fantastic.
She is
fantastic. Speaking of the Spurs,
yes,
they play tonight.
They do.
They got Boston here in about 15 minutes. The good news is they get DeJounte back.
That's really good news.
And they need him because what are they 1-4 without him? 1-3 without him?
Well, they've lost 4 in a row. So
1-4.
He missed what 4 games? Yeah. So I'm not sure. They lost 3 without him. I want to say
hasn't been good,
but it begs the question: is he an all-star?
Okay, Carolina Teague.
Carolina Teague was right on.
She was
right on.
And yes, he's playing at an all-star level. Is he an all-star starter? No. Does his absence from the team show you the importance?
Wait a minute now. Besides Steph Curry, leave him out of the. Who's better? You can't think of anybody. Dame Lillard's been hurt or COVID, right?
Well, see, and that's part of. There are a lot of players that I would take over DeJounte, but looking at what their seasons have been and the games missed, it's tough. It's just such a weird season that way. Even watching the game last night, they're playing in Toronto. The building is empty.
Oh, that was
and I hated seeing that. Even Greg Popovich last night. And you don't hear this much from Pop. Talking about the importance of fans.
Oh yeah, it's no fun at all. I mean, you got to have fans. Fans are the lifeblood of everything. It helps everything be better. But this is the world we live in, and they're doing the best they can here, given their situation. So you got to give them credit for making decisions that they think is good for their public and for their city. So they do it. I thought Jakob was great tonight. I was really glad to see Jakob be as assertive as he was on offense.
And Jakob was, and we'll just stop there. But because you get the feeling that Pop would, and I know I said this last year when they were playing in front of nobody or down in the bubble. Pop must love this. Everything that goes on in the arena. If he could just roll the ball out and play basketball, Pop would love that. Like a D3 game would look. But I think going no fans was odd at first, especially down in the bubble, but just getting and watching games and seeing what we've had to see that last night, that was sad. That was depressing.
It was extremely depressing. And then the Spurs play as depressing as the no fans were. And that's sad because, you got 3 key players out. Obviously, we've talked about DeJounte, but Dougie McBuckets is out. And so is Lonnie Walker, right? So all those guys are out. And Keldon Johnson might as well have been out because he played a horrible game last night.
He hasn't been good lately.
No, he hasn't.
And it's interesting. DeJounte is the best player on this team.
No question.
Coming into the season, I thought it was going to be Keldon. For a good portion of the first part of the season, I would say on this show, Keldon's the biggest disappointment. And people would argue about Derek White. And I think, no, Keldon, because my expectations for Keldon were so much greater than they are for Derek White. But at this point, I don't understand the bad play and the inconsistent play from Keldon. I don't think Pop does either. Last night, Tom Orsborn from the San Antonio Express News asked Pop about Keldon's poor play.
What are you seeing from Keldon right now? It looks like he's going through a rough patch.
Keldon's not playing well.
And then Pop just got up and left.
That was it.
I'm done. The media session's over.
Well, he's not going to throw Keldon under the bus other than say, it's obvious Keldon's not playing well. So Pop was stating the obvious. But look, everybody's got to chill a little bit when it comes to Keldon Johnson. The guy is uber talented, big time, but he's a kid. He's a baby, Pledge. He's a baby. And this guy is going to get better. He's just way too talented. That's with everybody on this team you got to be patient with the exception of DeJounte Murray. And I'm going to tell you this, DeJounte Murray this year saved his behind in San Antonio, or he made a nice trade piece somewhere else, because if he wouldn't have performed like this year, DeJounte Murray would have been out of San Antonio.
Yeah, I wonder if DeJounte wasn't earmarked to be on his way out of San Antonio before the season started. Is there a reason that he's not in the HEB commercials? I mean, honestly, I mean, last year when they traded LaMarcus, they had to scrap that commercial, and it's not like the Pop's going to give him time to redo him in the middle of the season. You think that guy might not be here? I don't know, but he's been the best player. Keldon has been the biggest disappointment. Then you've got Derek White, who he's not shooting the ball well, which is a problem for your shooting guard, but I don't think he's playing. I'm mixed on Derek, and I think part of that is, what is my expectation of him?
That's exactly what it is, and I think that's what people expected him to rise to the next level. So here's the question you ask. Has Derek White reached his ceiling? Is that it? I mean, the guy's he was a 4-year college guy, so he's 27 years old, in that neighborhood. I think it's 27. Has he reached his ceiling? Is this as good as he's going to be, and is this all we should expect, or can he get better?
If this is his ceiling, is that good enough?
Well, it depends on the pieces you bring in and the pieces around him. So if Derek White playing like he is, you got DeJounte playing the way he is. I like the backcourt between those two. But you need Keldon Johnson to play at least as well, if not better than Derek White. And then Lonnie Walker, I'm not sure about, honestly. Lonnie, I love sometimes and sometimes no. So I'm not sure what his future is here in San Antonio.
I don't invest in Lonnie.
But you still have to be patient with these young guys. And having said that, in the matter of being patient, then you got to try to find some other guys to bring in here. And no, it's not all going to come from the draft. Okay, there's got to be some guys that you're going to pluck. And I know everybody, nobody wants to come to San Antonio, and you're not going to get anybody. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You pay them enough money, they'll come to San Antonio.
And they're going to have enough money.
Exactly.
And when I look at building this team and the way he's playing, do we build it around Murray? Do you make him the centerpiece? I'm fine with Derek, because my expectation level is you're a quality role player. That and you need those guys. You need those good soldiers that are going to be in there. Lonnie, take him or leave him. I mean, I wouldn't invest in Lonnie Walker. He's been around long enough. He should, in my eyes, be further along than he is. I like what I'm seeing out of Devin Vassell. I love what I'm seeing out of Devin Vassell. Keldon is the big head scratcher to me. I mean, did he peak in the bubble? You go and you get the gold medal, and like all the attention. Is he just not handling the pressure well? Is he not handling the additional responsibilities that he has? And can he become that once he figures out how to handle those additional responsibilities?
Keldon Johnson, again, is very young. Keldon Johnson, to get to this point in time in the season, think about it. I mean, the NBA is a grind. The Spurs right now are on a 7-game and 11 nights, something ridiculous like that, which I thought they were trying to get rid of that. That's ridiculous, right? So, I mean, obviously these guys are going to hit a little bit of a wall, I think, especially as young guys, until they get ready to go.
He hit his wall in training camp.
No. He just had 27 the other night.
Well, I mean, every now and then we're seeing what we think we should see, but it's not consistent.
I would roll the dice on Keldon Johnson. I'm not ready to give up on the guy. I think he's going to be really good. Jakob Pertl's really good. Jockey Landell is excellent. Excellent. I think he's going to be a big part of this team as well moving forward.
I love Keldon Johnson, don't get me wrong, but he's been the biggest disappointment this
Patience, Jason. Patience.
year. I'm a sports fan.
Exactly.
We don't use the P word in sports. There's nobody that's patient.
I
in
use
sports.
it all the time. You got to be patient. Patience. All right. I tell you what, I'll stop using the P word, patience, when you stop saying the Cowboys only lost by 3. They lost.
One's a fact. One isn't.
They lost. But
they lost by 3.
But the way you say it, it's like, well, it's not so bad.
Well, I mean,
they had a chance. They lost. It's the NFL. They
is
lost.
their glass half full or is it half empty?
It's empty. It's empty. You lost. The glass is over.
No, it's
Turn
not
it over.
It's
empty.
a glass. You fill it back up.
Well, you better hurry.
Yeah, well,
Now, Zeke Elliott agrees with you.
Well, I mean, close.
They're still getting close.
That's what they tell me.
They got to work it out before the playoffs.
That's what they tell me. When is that? Oh, that's next week.
Yes.
They better get busy. If you're trying to find a place to watch the Spurs tonight, especially if you're one of those people that can't watch the Spurs, get into the Rue Pub. They're at 281 in Redland Road. It is the best place to watch a game because they've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And I've said many times, if the Brew Pub wasn't a great bar, it'd be a great restaurant. The food there, spectacular, all made from scratch. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. So if you need that late night meal, you don't want it coming out of a drive-through window in a brown bag, get into the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. Of course, they've got a full bar, all the beers you want to drink. Game Room has the best darts area in town. They have indoor cornhole and happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. The Rue Pub, great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Rue Pub next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We will see you at the Rue. The Cowboys say they're committed to the run game, but are they? We'll talk about it after Sports Center with James Pledger.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Well, we'll start with the Cowboys, who will likely be without linebacker Micah Parsons Saturday when they face the Philadelphia Eagles to close out the season, as he was placed on the reserve COVID-19 list earlier today. Parsons is 1.5 sacks shy of the rookie sack record set by Javon Kearse back in 1999, as he has 13 sacks, 84 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles on the season. With COVID numbers on the rise again, the NFL is covering its bases as they and the Dallas Cowboys have spoken and are looking into AT&T Stadium as a potential backup site for Super Bowl 56, according to reports. Next month's game is currently scheduled to take place at SoFi Stadium in California on February the 13th. In college football news, the Texas A&M Aggies replaced defensive coordinator Mike Elko, who took the Duke head coaching job. As Pete Thamel of Yahoo Sports reports, they're finalizing a deal with Ole Miss defensive coordinator DJ Durkin to take on the same role at A&M. In the NBA, the Spurs dropped their 4th straight, falling to the Toronto Raptors 129-104. They return to action again tonight as they're about to tip off against the Celtics in Boston. Tip-off coming up here in just about 3 minutes at 6:30. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
And now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that non-contact thermometers are not accurate. They also have inaccurate information on their labels regarding accuracy. New COVID strains are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmitt's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today. 571-0318.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hoagland with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
Paid for by Westland Financial. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
America's best high school football players are coming to Texas. It's the All-American Bowl on Saturday, January 8th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Trevor Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons played here. Join us for a day of exciting football to see the best of the best at the All-American Bowl, followed by the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by H-E-B. 2 exciting games for $10 in the lower bowl. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Second it takes. The Blitz with Joe Reinagel and Jason Minix. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He's Joe Reinagel.
He's Jason Minix.
I'm James Pledger.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Who's reminding us that we've got Monster Jam tickets to give away? I was supposed to give those away at 4:45. Might be a little late.
And 5:45.
And 5:45.
Oh.
So we got 2 pairs to give away? We didn't do it earlier?
Nope.
I meant to.
You mean to do a lot of things.
Oh, kind of like the Cowboys are running the ball. They mean to.
They want
say
to.
they do. We do have 2 pairs of Monster Jam tickets to give away. 2 pairs. The Monster Jam in the Dome, January 15th and 16th. All the tickets are and all the information available online at monsterjam.com. Unless you are caller number 5 and caller number 12 right now. 656 ESPN 656-3776. Just make a pledge work a little bit harder since he let us get till 6:32 in the show to give those away.
That's his responsibility.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's on me.
Well, I mean, look, is the head coach gonna take the responsibility or blame the OC? I mean, you hear Mike McCarthy on the podium today talking about the importance of the run game. Mind you, Zeke Elliott had 9 carries the other day against Arizona. Tony Pollard had 3.
Feed Tony Pollard.
Feed Zeke.
We run the football not only for the quarterback, we run the football for our whole team. Our whole team benefits from running the football.
But they don't run the football enough.
I wonder if Kellen Moore knows this.
He didn't get the memo.
Apparently not. Do he and McCarthy not talk?
I mean, McCarthy's trying to keep track of timeouts.
Well, he's not doing a very good job. Maybe Moore should keep track of timeouts, and McCarthy should call plays.
You just wonder. They tell us, they told us in training camp, run football team, run.
Physical.
All kinds of things will dictate you getting out of a run game. I get that. But 9 carries. I mean, when your coach says
we run the football not only for the quarterback, we run the football for our whole team.
So at what point, even if you know you're not going to get anything out of it, if it's going to be a none-yard run, don't you do it just to do it?
Well,
don't you just pound them to be physical up front? Don't you do it to maybe set up play action?
I've always heard that that's what you do, right? You pound the football, you try to wear the defense down a little bit. And especially, when you look what Arizona was doing, their safeties were way back.
Mm-hmm. So underneath was open.
Right. But, I mean, it should be more conducive to running the football.
And again, if you're running it enough, even if you're not getting anywhere, you're not getting where those safeties are going to creep up. Then play action pass, you can get them over the top.
You got to have some success in the running game. Though. You can't, get 1 yard and 1 yard, it's 3rd and 8. And then, you got to be a little successful. So you got to challenge that offensive line and say, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pound the football on 1st and 2nd down. You got to get us some yards. We need to pound the football and then do it again on 1st and 2nd down and then do it again.
And again, the run game helps the quarterback, helps those offensive linemen. It's easier to run block than the pass block. I mean, all of that is there and true. And then I think about on the Manning cast on Monday night, Aaron Rodgers was the guest on the 4th quarter. They were talking about Pittsburgh because Steelers were in the game. It was Big Ben's last game. And he had a comment. And man, I hope that Carl Schoening, who produces R&R in the morning, can find the audio of this, of Aaron Rodgers talking about Mike McCarthy. Because when Mike McCarthy is on R&R in the morning, Friday morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, in a week that they won't get tacos because they didn't win, I hope that the boys ask him about what Aaron said. Because he was talking about how people from Pittsburgh speak an entirely different language. And he had the line of, if I can understand Mike McCarthy in a headset, I can understand anything. And maybe that's part of the problem right now.
Maybe.
Is whatever language he is speaking into the headsets, it's not getting communicated to the quarterback.
Dak doesn't
or
understand.
to Kellen Moore. Mm-hmm. Maybe they haven't learned Pittsburghese. maybe that is part of the problem.
It could be. I've always understood Mike McCarthy fairly well, though, but maybe he talks differently on the sidelines than he does on the podium.
Well, we've seen him at training camp.
Right.
He is a lot more colorful.
Oh, sure.
While coaching. So is
course.
Jason Garrett, right? I mean,
most coaches are.
But on those headsets, and maybe Jerry needs to invest in better headsets. Maybe it does sound like he's speaking into the speaker at Dairy Queen when he's trying to call in the play to Aaron Rodgers and not into a good, crisp microphone.
Maybe so. Can you imagine Jerry Jones calling in a play? Well, we're going to run in too much time.
Woo, delay a game.
I don't know why I just thought of that.
It's because it would be a penalty on the Cowboys. And then they're going to bitch about the officiating. Well, you know what? The Cowboys are one of the most penalized teams in the NFL. Quit bitching. The Green Bay Packers, one of the fewest. They're the 1 seed.
Yep.
It's amazing how that works.
It's amazing.
And they've got a quarterback who we know doesn't like to hand the ball off in Aaron Rodgers, who is probably going to win the MVP. But there's one guy that won't vote for him. A dude named Hub Arkish is not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers because, as Hub said, he's a jerk.
Well, yeah, and I didn't know who Hub was until today. So, but I just, my thought process, in my opinion, I wouldn't vote for Hub Arkish because he's a jerk.
It's interesting. One, he should have his vote taken away.
He should.
While it might not be in the AP rules that whatever happens on the field is the only thing you're supposed to be judging, that should be understood. You've got one of 50 votes. That is a privilege. And one of the rules is you're not allowed to say who you voted for prior to the announcement. But apparently there's nothing in the rules that says who you're not voting for. Because he went on a Chicago radio station, 670 The Score, and said, I'm not voting for Aaron Rodgers because he's a jerk. Now, his reasoning was because he's not vaccinated, and he pooped all over his team and his teammates and his coaches and those fans all offseason for not coming to work. And then he got COVID and had to miss a game.
Right.
Because he's a jerk, because he won't get vaccinated. That's what Hub said on the radio up there. Aaron Rodgers was asked about Hub Arkush's comments at his press conference today.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum. He doesn't know me. I don't know who he is. No one knew who he was probably until yesterday's comments. But I mean, and I listened to the comments, but to say he had his mind made up in the summertime, in the off season, that, you know, I had zero chance of winning the MVP, in my opinion, should exclude, you know, future votes. You know, his problem isn't with me being a bad guy or the biggest jerk in the league. Because he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know anything about me. I mean, I've never met him. I've never had lunch with him. I've never had an interview with him. His problem is I'm not vaccinated. You know, so if he wants to go on a crusade and collude and come up with an extra letter to put on the award just for this season and make it the most valuable vaccinated player, then he should do that. But he's a bum, and I'm not going to waste any time worrying about that stuff. He has no idea who I am. He's never talked to me in his life. But it's unfortunate that those sentiments. It's surprising that he would even say that, to be honest. But yeah, I knew this was possible. Talked about it on McAfee weeks ago. But crazy.
It is. And again, it's not the MVVP, right?
Well, we should have two categories then, maybe, according to
the most valuable.
What's his name?
NVUP?
Yeah.
The most valuable unvaccinated and the most valuable vaccinated?
Why not? You know, again, I hate how this thing has been politicized, but I mean, a lot of guys have gotten COVID and have missed games. All right. It happens. That's the world we live in right now. You know, this guy needs to have his vote taken away from him because, number one, he's just ignorant. I mean, he is. And to come out and say this on a radio show, and even if he feels that way, it's fine. Then don't vote for Aaron Rodgers. Vote for somebody else. And that's how you protest Aaron Rodgers. You vote for, you know,
Taylor.
Right, Jonathan Taylor. Or anybody else. But don't come out like a jerk and say you're not going to vote for Aaron Rodgers because he's a bad guy.
Well, and again, if he were to say he's unvaccinated, I don't like what he did in the offseason, but say he's a jerk because he didn't get vaccinated, I'm not going to vote for him. I'm not going to be a part of rewarding him. Aaron Rodgers is still probably going to win MVP.
He should.
And he should.
Yeah.
He's been the best player all year. There's been a lot of guys who were playing at one point at an MVP level. Hell, Kyler Murray for a while was looking like a guy that was playing at an MVP level. And, you know, part of me, I like it when somebody like that is in the conversation. It doesn't always have to be Tom Brady. It doesn't always have to be Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers has been the most consistent player all year.
Yep.
And he's on the best team.
Yep.
Right? I mean, bottom line.
There's no question in my mind who should be the MVP. It should be Aaron Rodgers.
I'm curious, though, how many other voters might feel the same way Hub does and now feel a little bit more comfortable in voting for somebody other than Aaron Rodgers, even if they don't say it.
Well, here's the problem with that, Jason, and you may absolutely be right. In my mind, Aaron Rodgers is head and shoulders above Jonathan Taylor is when it comes to winning the MVP. I don't think it's close. Okay. And I love what Jonathan Taylor did. He's been sensational. However, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't win MVP, that's exactly what happened.
And we're all going to talk about it. He should have been.
Of course.
And that debate will continue to go. And I think about the AP voters decide the NFL awards. Maybe the AP shouldn't be doing that. Maybe NFL media decides, let the NFL network types get people in every city, all the different beat writers and everywhere. Because I look at like the Hall of Fame voters to get into Canton. They will all tell you their bylaws require them. You can't, if you had a bad experience with a guy, that can't affect your vote.
No.
Now they're all human.
Sure.
So I can't believe that none of them look at what happens off the field. But when you look at some of the guys in the Hall of Fame, with some of the off-field stuff that they did, you could tell that it was between the white lines, is that's what they voted on. Because there's some people in Canton who aren't Hall of Famers off the field, if you will.
Sure.
Because those are part of their bylaws. The responsibility you have as a voter, the integrity that should come with that, Hub Arcus should lose the ability to vote.
Absolutely. And I'm surprised we haven't heard that he has lost the ability. I mean, sincerely, it would have been, if I'm the head of that group, whoever's the head of that group, I mean, they should have called him right there and said, you're done. We've replaced you with this guy or girl or whatever the case may be. But you've got to send a message to say this can't be tolerated. You're a voter. You vote your conscience, but do it silently. And then after you vote, if you're not supposed to say who, or maybe you can, then maybe you say something. I don't know.
After it's announced, you do, all the voters are revealed on how they voted. So
fine,
we will know that he did not vote for Aaron Rodgers. And then make your case for, I voted for Jonathan Taylor. Look what he did this year for the Colts team.
Yes.
Leave all the other stuff out. Don't make it personal.
Exactly.
Because that vote shouldn't be personal. Well, whatever you might feel is one thing. Pick your candidate and then sell why you made that vote.
It's very difficult for people to leave their feelings aside when doing anything these days.
But doesn't it feel like, I mean, we've been in the media a long time.
Yep.
And the media takes a lot of shots.
Sure.
A lot of times it's unfair.
Yeah.
But we're an easy target because of idiots like Hub Arcus.
That's exactly right. You're exactly right. And this guy, and again, I'm shocked that he hasn't lost his ability to vote yet.
And again, I know Hub Arcus has a great reputation with NFL media. And he's earned the right to have the vote. I mean, they don't just give those to anybody, right?
Sure.
But you lose it for something like this.
You have to. You have to lose it. You cannot let something like that stand. Because now, who's going to stop, next year? All 50 of them going out and saying, well, I'm not voting for this guy because, he blew his nose in a restaurant. I mean, it's ridiculous, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I understand.
That's not allowed anymore.
You can't blow your nose in a restaurant?
No, or a plane. You can fart, but don't blow your nose, man. It's the new COVID world. You can't do that. Some things are acceptable and some things aren't.
Well, I got to learn the rules.
Yeah, get the memo, Joe. It's what it is. Big night thing happening up in Dallas today, which probably should have happened a lot sooner, I would think. And we'll update you on what the Spurs are doing as we wrap up day number 3 with Joe Reinagel here on the Blitz. Let me tell you about River City Oral Surgery and Dr. Mark Havercorn there at River City Oral Surgery. If you need dental implants, you need a tooth pulled, you need wisdom teeth out, you go see Dr. Havercorn there at River City Oral Surgery. He offers direct patient care, so you don't need a referral. And what that means is, quite frankly, it's a cash business. He doesn't want your dental insurance, but if you have dental insurance, you can make a claim and, get some money back. He's still probably going to be less expensive than what your insurance prices are going to be, and you're going to know what all those prices are before you go in and see them. In fact, they're all listed right now on the website, rivercityoms.com. It's incredible the way they do this. And again, no referral needed. You just call and make an appointment, 210-778-0002. Free market medicine is the way to go. You know exactly what you're going to pay, and you know you're going to get great care from Dr. Mark Havercorn. People drive from all over the state to see him. His office is over there at 1604 near I-10, right across from Topgolf. Full scope oral surgery practice. River City Oral Surgery, 210-778-0002, or go to the website, rivercityoms.com. That's rivercityoms.com for River City Oral Surgery.
We've got this bowl, that bowl, and this bowl over here. It's bowl season. Let's get activated. Catch the 2021 bowl season presented by Kubota on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? The eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. Try 5 pairs of frames for free. Go to warbyparker.com to pick your 5 frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com.
According to NHTSA, in 2019, more than 5,000 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. Semi-trucks, which weigh 20 to 30 times as much as passenger cars, can cause severe injuries in the event of a wreck. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, call Thomas J. Henry. Thomas J. Henry handles serious trucking cases and gets serious results for injured clients. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
This whole wall needs to be shelving too. This is a focal point in our restaurant.
Leilani's new restaurant will have the largest wine cellar in the city. She needs a robust sommelier with notes of procurement manager.
3 sections for France. I mean, this is the biggest.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Why does Walgreens offer copays as low as $0 and 90-day refills? Because we care about Medicare, so you don't have to. I mean, do you really care to hear me go on about same-day prescription delivery making your life easier? Or how there's a pharmacy expert available 24/7 and one-click refills? Well, I just did anyways. Fill your Medicare prescriptions with Walgreens and save.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Restrictions apply. See walgreens.com/Medicare for complete details.
1, 2, 3. Live and local sports talk to get you out the door. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Don't mind the brake lights. We'll get you there. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel. Wrapping up day number 3 of the new job. Double duty today. You got to go from here to the TV station.
I do. Oh, it is on.
Yeah. The last segment 3 days in a row, you have failed to turn on your microphone.
There's a red light here and a yellow one. So I got to learn the difference.
Yes. And actually here, red means it's on, not stop.
Red means on.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got it.
All right.
Thanks, Pledge.
That's the crazy. Like the shows, all 3, solid all the way up, except the last segment. Turning on the mic for the last one has been what's tripping you up.
Now, wait
we got to
a second.
look at the film and get better.
Right. Well, exactly. And I will. Right. But I mean, here's the deal. When we're at your kitchen table, you turn the light on. When I'm here,
except when you do.
When I'm here in the studio, Pledge turns the light on.
Except when you do.
So when I started talking, I was like, I couldn't really hear it in the headset, and I'm like, well,
yeah,
it's on.
It's all good.
Okay,
you'll learn what's coming up tonight at 10.
Well,
I have no idea because I'm not there yet.
I'm not there. My good friend Vinny is there, so that's good.
He's producing,
and I will talk to him when I leave the building here in just a few minutes.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm not looking forward to hopefully, DeJounte Murray's back. We can see what they did. See if Pop goes off on somebody. That's always interesting after the game.
Something you always have to watch for.
Yeah, and it's always entertaining unless it happens to you.
True. What's the worst time you've been popped?
Wow. There was one.
And they're up 14-9, by the way.
Well, that's good. There was a time they were in the playoffs, and this was back when the Spurs were good, right? So,
so long.
Yeah, and that's so long ago. And they played a game. I don't even remember who they were playing, but this was way back. I mean, this might have been, I don't know if it's the first championship run. No, because we were at the AT&T Center. So it had to be 03 maybe, that championship run, or one of those after that. Now, I asked the first question because the Spurs played great, and they just killed whoever they were playing, and said, Pop, how does it feel when your team plays the perfect game? And you know what's coming, right?
Oh, yeah. The stare down.
The stare, just like you're staring at me.
Down.
Yeah, the stare down. And I don't remember if he answered me or not, because it was just horrifying. And I mean, the media room was packed, right? And so, and everybody knew what was coming. It was kind of like everybody's ducking.
Like, you got him on the first one. There goes the interview.
Wow. And after about what felt like an hour stare, he just went off and, the perfect game. And just really, I felt like that cartoon jackass. You know what I mean? He was
absolutely.
like, yeah. So anyway, after that, I was very careful. And I've been popped many times over my career.
We all have. The only time I was ever embarrassed by pop, embarrassed. It's one thing to get popped in you know.
Sure,
but
right.
He just looked at me, and I don't remember what I asked him, but it was, I thought an okay question. It was decent, generic after a game. I think they had lost. I might have been setting them up for the soft Tuesday night in Milwaukee type answer. And he just looked around and says, anybody got a real question? And nobody said anything. And then he left. I mean, it's like, anybody got a real question? Then he left. And it was the first question too.
Wow.
And so everybody else is like, crap, now we don't get anything. And you're getting all the
or actually they were thanking you for not having to ask any more questions.
I don't think I mean, those newspaper guys still got to write a story. They needed something.
Yeah, but back when Pop was in his prime like that, he didn't really want to be any part of the media scrum.
No, and he still doesn't, quite honestly.
No, but he's mellowed a little bit in his old age.
Because he's sitting on Zoom. He doesn't have to look at us. I mean, I think part of it too. I mean, getting popped is kind of like the badge of honor. I mean, we should get like helmet stickers. Somebody, Simmons should be in charge of all that.
My helmet would be full. I promise you.
It would be. Yeah. They're retiring Dirk's jersey tonight in Dallas.
Yeah. It seems like it should have been a long time ago, doesn't it?
Like the day after.
Yeah.
Or the first game or the first week after. It's been a while. I'm like, they're just now doing that?
One of the greatest players of all time.
Absolutely. Could be a bizarre. Larry on line one, man, we don't have time to get to your call, but it says here you just knocked down 3 Dairy Queen tacos.
Well, and you love them.
Your family will see you.
He said generic.
Yeah, your family will see you in a couple of hours. You're going to be busy for a
Thanks,
while
Larry.
in a little room by yourself.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportsstar.com.